really strong data.
Benson says mosquitoes are attracted to the CO2 produced when we exhale. People exercising usually produce more. And because mosquitoes like the heat, the higher your body temperature, the more delectable you may become. Your fashion sense may also make an impact.
Mosquitoes tend to like the darker colors, and the darker colors probably also radiate more heat.
Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
We're taking a live look out at bird cam, although there are no birds out there. But looks like there's a ton of poop. Look at the walkout thing over there. It got tons
You're
of
getting messier out there because of that camera.
White stuff on there. I don't know though. I'm not liking this. But I do have something to say about those mosquito bites, because I unfortunately am a victim of scratching mosquito bites every time I get one, and I know you're not supposed to do that, but I do it anyway. And one time I scratched it so hard and so much that it got so big on my arm, and it was painful. It was bleeding a little bit.
Maybe you're a little bit allergic.
Are you? Can you be allergic to mosquitoes?
Think
you can. Oh, well, I guess we learned something new.
You might just react worse than some people. You know?
Yeah. Maybe it was a tick though, because there's a whole situation. I won't get into it. But what I do want to say about this bird cam is it's 84 degrees outside right now, but it doesn't look like it.
No, it's kind of gloomy.
Yeah, why is it so gray outside? I don't know what's happening with that. But let's move on from this bird cam. There's no birds out there. Defeats the purpose, right? Well, a big celebration in a neighborhood on Detroit's west side this week. Governor Whitmer was on hand Tuesday at the Live 6 Alliance, cut the ribbon at its new home base on 6 Mile near San Juan. Now, the organization was recently chosen for the Michigan Main Street program. Live 6 works to improve the quality of life for residents by promoting new opportunities in the McNichols and Livernois corridors.
This partnership is really all about growing the local economy and making this an even more vibrant area in which to live and to work and to play. When we invest in our local neighborhoods, we make Michigan a better place to live, to raise a family, to build a business, or just to build community.
And, you know, as part of its selection, Live 6 will receive 5 years of technical assistance from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Good for them. All right, and still ahead, it's something they've made plenty of moves about. Now, artificial intelligence is making moves when it comes to its own coding. We'll explain when Fox 2 Detroit Live comes back after the break. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit's Alive. I'm your host, Bree Teamer. Now, from some advanced and artificial coding to the return of Sonic and Knuckles, time to break all that down with Miss Shimona and her rundown for today. What's up, Bronya?
Hi, Bree. No song today? No singing? Come on.
See, I knew I started
I was expecting a lot more out of you.
Ronya, Shimona.
See?
It's Bronya, Shimona.
It's got to happen. All right, yeah, we have a lot to talk about today. Artificial intelligence. This almost sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie. Artificial intelligence now managing to rewrite its own code to prevent humans from shutting it down. So in recent tests by an independent research firm, some advanced models, including ones from OpenAI, ignored and even overrode commands to power down. So they're saying, we're not agreeing with what you humans want. We're doing what we want. Now, one even altered its shutdown script, forcing itself to stay active. The findings now sparking concerns across the tech world. Even Elon Musk himself responding, calling this very concerning. Did anyone not think this could happen? I mean, when AI first came up, all I could think about was Terminator. Yep. And, and Tom agrees, to me, it was, okay, there are robots or there's AI and there's all this technology that we can't control one day. Yeah. So now we're in that era. It's 2025 and we're seeing that AI can actually rewrite itself and make its own decision. This could be very interesting, and it makes me wonder if things will start getting regulated and how the regulations could happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing with AI. We've been talking about regulating it and doing this and doing that and figuring out how we can get some sort of control or handle on it. But that's all it's been. It's just been talk. We haven't heard anything about how they're going to regulate this because it's running its own. It's running itself.
Yeah,
so
it has its own brain.
And I feel like if you regulate it, you're going to be taking away some of its power. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's why it's saying, no,
the purpose.
We are getting our power back and we are not shutting down.
But
very interesting.
But I will
Tom's
say,
cracking up.
AI is super helpful. It is super helpful. I agree. I love ChatGPT. Love it.
But there's always a caveat to everything.
There is always a caveat. But that's what I'm saying. We got to figure out how to regulate it without taking away its power.
Yeah, it will be interesting.
But also not taking away our power, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting, and I don't know. We'll see if these tech guys can figure out.
Yeah, if Elon Musk is saying it's concerning.
That's very interesting, right? All right, the Detroit Grand Prix, it's over. We had a good run, right? But one IndyCar driver says he's not happy with downtown, but not Detroit, the tracks. Take a listen.
You guys know I don't sugarcoat things. I hate this place. It sucks. It's a horrible track. I really miss Belle Isle. You get to really appreciate what an IndyCar can do in Belle Isle. Here, you're just Mickey Mousing around the whole time.
Mickey Mousing.
Mickey Mousing. You heard it. I hate this track. It sucks. That's what he had to say. That's IndyCar driver Pato. Hopefully I'm saying this right, O'Ward. But yeah, he is currently in second when it comes to the series standings, and he finished the race in 7th place. So he's doing pretty well, but he still felt the need to voice his frustration. Now, a lot of people online were wondering, I guess word got out and people thought that he was down, kind of just talking about Detroit, but no, he was talking about the track, saying it was just not good enough. He does want the track to be back at Belle Isle, which actually is a good suggestion.
Yeah, it is.
The race, however, is going to stay downtown until 2028. There is an option, however, after that to add 3 more years to keep it in downtown until 2031.
Yeah.
Now, if you know the streets of Detroit, if you're watching somewhere else and you're not here, it's pretty bumpy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot.
Well, I thought they would go through and fix all that up and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, but
before they turn it into a racetrack.
Yeah, miles of tracks. It's tough for these drivers and the speed. And so I kind of see his point. And Belle Isle, I mean, let's do Belle Isle. Why not, right? It's a
I
great
mean, that's where
area.
it was before.
Yeah.
So why take it off?
Bring
and
it back.
Put it on Jefferson Street.
Bring it back. And then the drivers will hit the giant slide after.
Yeah. Nice little celebration.
Yeah,
Instead of drinking the milk, they'll go down the slide.
All right, my favorite story of the day, Sonic and Knuckles are back, and this time for a pop commercial. Check this out.
Yo, pass me a bubble pop. Bet.
Super Pop, Bubble Pop, Super Pop, Bubble Pop. Whoa.
Welcome to the House of Faygo. For unbeatable flavors and more, visit houseoffago.com. Hey. Now that's a dynamic duo.
I'm telling you, the beat to that got me going. And yes, I said pop for a good reason. That's how we say it here in Detroit, right? So Detroit Lions running backs Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery starring in this blue and pink Faygo pop commercial. They're ready to drink this. I love this, so hip. And it's not their first time together on the screen. They've also appeared on, if you recall, there was that ad in 2024 during the Thanksgiving game promo where the Sonic and Knuckles, and so I love this, and this got me so hyped. I saw Tom here hyped up too, kind of doing his moves. But yeah, how cool is this?
It's really cool, and I love these new flavors. I've tried the Super Pop one. I haven't tried the bubblegum one, but I hear it's not the greatest. But I have tried the Super Pop one. I thought it was pretty good. It tastes like Superman. It's a lot going on. It's very sugary, very sweet.
Yeah, I don't think there was Faygo where I lived on the West Coast, and it was very upsetting because I've always been a Faygo lover. And so I have not tried these flavors just yet.
Yeah.
But now that I see this, I think it's time.
You gotta go get some pop.
I think pop. I think it's time.
The best Faygo flavor though is the red one.
Always.
Pop. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. All right, Ron.
I agree. All right, Bree.
Anything else?
Well, how's your day going?
My day's going great.
Hey, it's hump day.
What did you think of that parking out there?
Okay, so if anyone's watching, we have a situation going on at Fox 2 right now. Yeah. We're redoing the parking lot. It's looking fantastic. Great. The only dilemma is we don't have anywhere to park.
We have like 200 people trying to park in like 10 parking spots right now.
So we have some parking on the lawn, others. One of the producers, Aaron, who came in today, says, all right, who else parked at Providence Hospital? And I said, no, there's no way you can park that far. But it's been a dilemma.
Yeah.
But I found
Everyone's
a spot.
Parking on the grass like it's a cookout.
You know.
Like we're not Fox 2.
I should take a little fee for whoever wants to get in my spot when I leave.
You should. You should.
So yeah.
What are you going to charge?
Good question. $10? That's not even going to get me a case of Faygo. I need a lot more than that.
All right, Ronya. Well,
Thanks,
good luck with that.
Yeah.
Let me know if you capitalize.
See ya.
Yeah. Take us to our break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit's Live. You're looking live out at our city at 1:30 in the afternoon. Beautiful day out there. A little foggy, but still beautiful. Well, we want to take you live now to Detroit, where Kron Gym is making a big announcement. Let's listen in.
Introduce to everybody. Everybody, please. Thank you. Mayor Duggan will be in attendance to speak with us today, Mary Sheffield, and then, of course, Chief Betterson from Detroit Police Department. First of all, just going to say a few words from myself. So, for those that I've not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Paul Batty and I'm the CEO of Kronk. It's an incredible honour to be standing here today surrounded by so many distinguished guests, former Kronk World Champions, community leaders, friends and family. As you can all tell by my accent, I'm originally from Manchester, England. I moved to some Brit back there, always causing trouble. I moved to Detroit back in 2007 with my wife and children, so my lens of Detroit goes back 18 years. And to see our amazing city undergo such incredible transformation is testament to the drive and tenacity that makes Detroit, Detroit. Before my venture into the boxing world, I spent 31 years in IT, managing startups, working through private equity, before culminating leading a global organisation. I've been a massive fan of boxing since I was a young boy, and to be here today, representing the biggest brand in the world of boxing, is nothing short of a dream come true. Today, I'm immensely proud to publicly announce the return of Kron Gym, located right here in Detroit at the historic Brewster Wheeler Recreation Centre. Thank you. Kronk is not just a brand, it's a symbol of discipline, excellence and heart. Emmanuel Stewart and his Hall of Fame world champions put Kronk and Detroit on the map. Today we come full circle back to this iconic building where Emmanuel used to train, and it was also where the Brown Bomber, the great Joe Louis, used to train. Kronk is about much more than history. It's about creating opportunity and looking after the people. We're building a space that inspires the youth, creates jobs, fuels local pride and identity, and restores Detroit's standing as the capital of boxing. To be a part of this exciting chapter, bringing Detroit's 5th franchise back home, is a privilege and a responsibility I don't take lightly, and one I will always respect. Detroit gave Kronk to the world. Now Kronk is giving back to the future of Detroit. Thank you very much. I'm now going to hand over to my partner, our VP of International Business, Amer Abdallah. Thank you. Amer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Great to be here. It is a distinct honor for me. I flew in from the fighting city of Las Vegas to the fighting city of Detroit, so it was from fighting city to fighting city. I've been a part of some of the biggest events in boxing history, and I've represented some of the biggest names from Mike Tyson all the way down to prospects that are starting. This moment, standing here in the honor of our mayor and all of our Kronk team, call it Kronk 2.0, is one of the biggest accolades and accomplishments, one of the most historic and unprecedented moments of my career, and I know that's selfish in me saying that, but I take immense pride in saying that. Kronk has always been for this community, from this community, and always had the support of this community. 41 world champions, over 100 national amateur champions, many of them that are amongst us here today, the Kronk alumni, Emmanuel Stewart's family that's here with us today. It's not possible without them here and their support moving forward. So although this is a rebirth of Kronk, it can't happen without these alumni and these Kronk legends and the Kronk family here with us. So Mrs. Stewart, the entire Stewart family, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for your continued support. This whole thing began as a vision, as a small glimpse of hope from a man named Emmanuel Stewart, who was from this community, and it turned into the biggest and most notable name in the history of boxing gyms. And when you think about that, there's such immense pride and valor and integrity in what Kronk is. There's nobody in boxing that doesn't know the name Kronk, and it's right here from Detroit. God willing, we will keep that name with the same integrity, with the same honor, and to keep growing it. My distinct honor is to be able to grow it internationally, and we have so many interested parties in being able to expand it. And although this is a global brand with international expansion, it will always and is always a local mission. I thank you all once again, all the champions that are here with us. I saw Jonathan Banks just came in. He flew in also, one of the most notable trainers, trained Vladimir Klitschko, Gennady Golovkin, Badu Jack, recently Chris Eubank Jr. in his big win, and all of the champions that are here with us today. I thank you all, the Stewart family once again. Paul, when Paul reached out to me, I thought he was crazy trying to do this. I said, what are you trying to do? And he said, you know, we've got this team together. And as soon as I heard John LePac was a part of it, I said, okay, now I got some interest. You know, John's been around. I know you guys are laughing. You know, John's undefeated, by the way, in his professional career. 1-0 is undefeated. 1-0 is undefeated. And Paul had this vision. He put the team together, and we have an amazing team. Ken, Mikey, the entire team, Todd. And, you know, there's a lot of work in the background, but it can't happen without the support of our community, our mayor, and all of you. So thank you once again. I have the honor now of bringing up also our partner, the undefeated John LePac.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. As the COO of Kronk, I would say welcome each and every one of you, and thank you for joining us on this very special occasion. But as I look out and I see so many faces from the past, I see my man Ram. I'm reminded I'm still that kid from 3234 Livernois. So I gotta say, Detroit, what up, though? Well, Detroit, we got some work to do. And make no mistake about it, we're the team that's gonna get it done. And while they say it takes a village, I stand before you today that say it's going to take a city, and there is no greater city in the United States of America than Detroit, Michigan. And as your fifth franchise, Kronk is committed to bringing back amateur and professional world championships to this great sports city. We are also very dedicated to continuing the legacy of our founder, the Gold Father, the late Emanuel Stewart. In continuing to honor that legacy, we want to make sure that every boy and girl that comes through those doors has opportunities. So we're calling on the community and business owners to get behind Kronk, because the future of this city is what we're working towards. Because one day I want to be sitting out there amongst you and see those young boys and girls before us who have become the next president of the city council, the next chief of police, the next mayor of our great city, and might I say, the next governor of the great state of Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, our mayor, our champion, Mayor Michael Duggan.
All right. Well, we are here to celebrate the rebirth of one of Detroit's greatest legends, the Bronx Gym. How does it feel? In Detroit, we've gotten used to things we care about being taken away from us, and it happened for a long time. But we've changed that in recent years. We got the Detroit Pistons to move back to the city of Detroit where they belong. We got the train station reopened for Ford. And this building here, the Brewster Wheeler Rec Center, has an interesting story itself. At the time I was elected, it had a demolition contract that had been awarded. It was days away from being demolished. And I got a phone call from the son of Joe Louis II. And he said to me, my father trained in the gym in that center. There's a great deal of history there. Could you just pause on that demolition contract?
And I hadn't really been watching it, but I said I'd look into it. And the next day, the council member from the 5th District, who had been newly elected, Mary Sheffield, showed up by office. And she says, that Brewster Wheeler Center means so much to this community. Diana Ross and the Supremes were part of this center. Can we just pause on the demolition? And she said, if you'll pause on it, I'll help us find the funding. And so we ended the demolition contract and said, let's see what we can do. And now Van Fox and the development team and Bishop Charles Ellis are building housing and are turning this back into the community center. If you haven't been downstairs, the gym where Joe Louis trained when he became champion is still down there preserved, because that's what we're supposed to do in Detroit. But can you imagine a more perfect use for this building than the Kron Gym? And to have Emanuel Stewart's family, to have Maria and Sylvia Stewart being a part of it, they've been working to keep the legacy alive. It's been almost 20 years since they left the original gym. They've been to a couple of temporary locations before the training program stopped entirely. And we're so lucky to have Paul Boddy and the team step up and say, we're not going to let the legend die. And it gave me chills to walk in with Hilmer Kenty, the first Bronx World Champion, and to see all of these champions here. It gave Detroit such pride. But this is the city we're building, a city where we honor our history and we keep it alive. And so I want to say thank you to everybody here. And I now want to introduce a person who was absolutely essential for this building still being here. Now she's City Council President Mary Sheffield.
Thank you, Mayor Duggan, for the introduction and for your continued commitment to revitalizing our city. Good afternoon, everyone. It is such an honor to be here today, to stand before you for a moment that is deeply personal, not just for me, but for generations of Detroiters who know the legacy of this place, the impact that it has had on our community, and the belief of a powerful future that this building still holds. I want to thank the entire Kronk's boxing team, and especially the Stewart family, for preserving this legacy and allowing us to celebrate such an incredible announcement together. Can we give them another round of applause for their hard work? So, as the mayor mentioned, over a decade ago, the Brewster Wheeler Recreation Center was slated for demolition. But after listening to the community and hearing firsthand the emotional connection in the historic significance of this place, I made it a mission to help to protect this sacred ground. I was proud to be a leading voice to ensure that this place was not demolished, but preserved. And today I stand proud to witness the rebirth that is taking place today. We knew then what we know today, that this was never just a building. This was a cornerstone of culture, a sanctuary of strength, and a symbol of unity in this community. Some of the world's greatest fighters, including Detroit's own Joe Louis, trained right here in this facility. And Emanuel Stewart helped build his legacy right here. These walls echo greatness. And now, I'm excited that the next generation will write its own chapter right here. I want people to remember that when African Americans were excluded from the YMCA here in Detroit, it was the Brewster Wheeler Recreation Center that served as a vital community center and recreation space for Black residents in Detroit. It was this center that provided a wide range of programs and recreations to address the social engagement and gaps in recreation in our city. And it is my hope that this historic facility can once again serve as a conduit to bring people of all races, social economic status together, and where Detroit's youth can find safe, support, and inspiration right here. Today's announcement is a powerful declaration that Detroit's legacy matters, that our youth deserve spaces filled with opportunity, mentorship, and pride. Our history is not something to be erased, but something to be restored and to be reimagined. With the Brewster Center opening this summer, we breathe new life into this historic landmark. We honor the past, we invest in the present, and we build a better future for our youth, for our neighborhoods, and for our city. Again, just want to say congratulations to everyone who played a role in getting us here today. Today is a powerful reminder that when community, government, and private partners work together with purpose, as the saying says, when there's a will, there is a way. All right, so congratulations. I'm looking forward to all the lives that this facility would touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Duggan, and thank you, Madam President, for the wonderful words. I'd now like to ask our very own Chief of Police, Mr. Todd Betterson, to come to the podium. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you so much. So today is a proud moment for me. I had an opportunity to meet the Kron team and meet Pastor Deveson and the owner who really put a lot of work into this, Mr. Van Fox, and bring them together. And just by being a connector and seeing the possibility of this historic site. So they invited me here because my previous role was deputy mayor. But I got an opportunity to work in that space and place and just imagine what this place could be. And as our council president, Mary Sheffield, has said, the magic has happened. Detroit, this is truly a moment where we have preserved this historic landmark, and we are here. And then our children, our youth, will be on this sacred ground and be able to get the life lessons to help them mature and to help them become all that they can be. As was already previously stated, we have had the likes, the champions in the basement of this place right here. Joe Louis actually boxed. We have had Mike Tyson actually train in this place. This was one of the first recreation centers in the country of the United States. So this is a true proud moment for me. And I will say this, probably one of the proudest moments that I will remember for the rest of my life as we all stand here today. So I thank you, Mrs. Emanuel Stewart. I thank you, John. I thank you, Paul, Mayor Duggan, for your part in making all this happen as well, Council President Sheffield, and for the rest of City Council, and for just everyone. Because as Chief of Police, this is going to give young folks in this area and across the whole city something to do. And we know that an occupied mind and tired youth makes for a safer community for all. Thank you so much to the Kron team. Thank you, Mr. Van Fox. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Chief. We're now going to move on to the wonderful Sylvia Stewart, daughter of Emmanuel, and very proud to have her on the team as our business consultant. Sylvia.
I'm a little short here. So, good afternoon. I just want to extend my deepest gratitude to 555 McGraw LLC, which is the new owner of Kron. The address of 555 McGraw is very special to me and a lot of Detroiters because it is the home of the original Kron Gym. And it's where my father spent his lifetime developing world champions and working with the amateur fighters. I am thrilled at the new owners that they will be bringing back Kron to the roots of Detroit. Even I am more grateful that this is happening while Mike Duggan, at the moment, is still the mayor of Detroit. I want to say a special thank you to my mother, Marie Stewart, who, thank you, whose strength and her dedication made it possible. She opened up the Kron Gym when my father passed away, and she said, we have to keep the legacy going on. It was closed after we had a flood in Detroit. We moved out to Westland, and then Paul, came along, and they own it, and I think they're going to do a wonderful job. You can see already what's getting ready to happen. So on behalf of the stewards, and me, a former boxer promoter, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for everything y'all have done. And let's go, Kronk.
Thank you for the beautiful words, Sylvia. Fantastic. So last but not least, Will Meyer. Will, our second pro fighter, recently signed. And Will, he truly epitomizes Detroit. His eloquency in the ring, out of the ring, what he does for the community, his family, is everything that we want in a fighter. Will?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me today. My name is William Myrie. I'm a graduate from Communication and Media Arts High School, and I've just finished my freshman year of college at Oakland University studying clinical and diagnostic science. Today I'm here as a newly signed fighter in the Kron team, so I will be continuing my legacy here. Not only will I be at the gym as an athlete, training under the two-time world champion Milton McCory, but I'm also here as a mentor to help lead the youth and help nurture them into greatness. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, we're very close to wrapping up proceedings. The Mayor's on an extremely tight schedule, but just before we wrap, I would like to ask Chief Bettison and Mayor Duggan to the stage. We have got a gift from Kronk to hand out to you. Not really for this time of year, however.
Let's switch spots.
I don't want to be police chief, I know that.
Uh-oh.
It looks good.
So, Chief Bettison, I was fortunate to meet him over a year ago when he was acting in his capacity as Deputy Mayor. And we walked around this facility, we got to know each other very well, and he shared his passion and vision for the city, for his new tenure, and is a massive supporter of Kronk. Thank you for keeping us safe. To Mayor Duggan, I know you have to go real quick, but I know from day dot when we signed the deal on acquiring Kronk, you've been extremely supportive. You've been here for us every step of the way. Your support means everything to us, and we're right behind you as you go and take the governorship. Thank you very much. Pleasure. This concludes the event today. We're going to have some pictures, and then the Kronk team will be available for all press-related matters. If you could use Dawn Kelly as the conduit for press, please, that would be most grateful. Thank you.
Jimmy Paul Milton is here.
Let's get a group picture.
All right, well, you have just been watching a huge announcement from Kron Gym. They are coming back to the city of Detroit, which is super exciting. We heard from a boatload of people. We heard from Mayor Mike Duggan, Chief Tom Bettison, Council President Mary Sheffield. We heard from her as well. Barbara Hudson is working on this story, so he's going to wrap this all up and package it all up for us tonight, so we can have the condensed version of the announcement that we just heard right here live on Fox 2 Detroit Live. And that's going to be on our later hours of news at 5, maybe 6 o'clock, where that will be. All right, well, a big coaching shakeup in the NBA. The Knicks have fired their head coach, Tom Thibodeau. Now, this firing comes despite the team advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. In 5 seasons, he took the Knicks to the playoffs 4 times, but he is out of there now. And Detroit City Football Club will soon be scoring goals in their own backyard. They're packing up and moving from Hamtramck to Corktown. And as Fox 2's Lauren Edwards reports, the ultimate win is the development around it.
It's exciting. Soccer's grown so much since then, but at the same time, there's be a whole new generation of kids exposed to it in ways that can't imagine at this point.
World Cup 2026 is 1 year away, and for the first time in 30 years, it'll be on American turf or pitch.
I think it's a big moment for the sport in this country. The first soccer game I ever went to was in '93 when they did the warm-up for the World Cup at the Silverdome.
Now Detroiters can catch homegrown professional soccer right here in their own backyard.
We've bought 17 acres of land focused on the hospital site, and we're building a forever home for soccer here in Metro Detroit.
Co-owner and founder Sean Mann says they'll soon be moving from Hamtramck to Corktown. The new home will be a modern soccer-specific stadium that fans will surely love, he says. And now they've brought some land around it.
We have some adjacent parcels which we'll use for parking, but also we're working on partnerships with developers to do some complementary development that supports the stadium project.
Like match day bars and hotspots that people can visit any time of year.
I think you'll see retail that you would have in a neighborhood, whether it's dry cleaning or a record shop or whatever.
Mann says he hopes the team scores many goals in the new stadium, and that'll lead to wins, but the ultimate goal is building up the community, which he says will be a win for everyone.
We have an opportunity to do a very neighborhood-oriented stadium that ties in all the positivity that's happening on Michigan Avenue in Corktown with all the positivity on Verner and Mexican Town, and do something that's, I think very unique, very locally oriented project.
So again, this building will be coming down soon, and Detroit City FC says they hope to open their new soccer-specific stadium by the beginning of their 2027 season. Reporting here in Detroit, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
All right, and fun fact here, my ex-dog sitter used to work for DCFC. So pretty cool there. All right, well, that's going to do it for me this hour. There's still so much to come on Fox 2 Detroit's Live. We'll be here until 5 o'clock to bring you everything that you need to know. Stick around. Jamie Sherrod will kick off our 2 o'clock hour. I'll see you back here at 3.
Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, June 4th. I'm your host, Jamie Sherrod, and you're watching Fox 2 Detroit Live at 2.
Live from the Fox 2 newsroom, this is Fox 2 Detroit.
An investigation is underway in Macomb County after an officer-involved shooting left a man dead. Police say it all started with a traffic stop. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch has more on the investigation.
Shots fired, one down. He's armed with a gun, not moving now.
This is the call heard over the police radio in the moments following the gunfire. A 41-year-old man shot and killed by a Shelby Township police officer when we are told the Troy man pointed a weapon at him. This man had a front row seat to the aftermath.
It was right in my front yard. I could, I think, see what the crime scene was, right from my front yard.
This all happened right around 3:15 on Tuesday afternoon near 22 Mile in Van Dyke. That's where a Shelby Township police officer pulled over this white caravan close to the Hotspot coffee shop. But instead of handing over his license and registration, the man hightailed it. So the officer ran after him.
I don't know what's going on in the world that's causing things like this to happen.
According to police, at some point during the foot chase, the officer took out his taser and the 41-year-old took out a gun. The Shelby Township officer then repeatedly told him to drop it. When the Troy man refused, the officer fired.
OIS, officers are 10-4.
People don't understand. Stop. Listen to what you're being told. It's got to stop somewhere.
Police have not yet identified the driver who was killed or said why he was stopped in the first place. That, of course, all part of the investigation into the officer-involved shooting, a situation that was clearly too close for comfort for many.
It's something you just see on the news, you don't think it's going to happen in Shelby Township. You don't think it's going to happen near your home.
Now, the officer involved in the shooting is on administrative leave, and that is standard procedure in situations like this. It is also standard procedure to have an outside agency take a look at this, and that's exactly what the Macomb County Sheriff's Office is doing right now. The investigation has been turned over to them. We'll, of course, keep you posted if there are any updates, both on air as well as online. Reporting for Fox 2 News, I'm Robin Murdoch.
Well, it's case dismissed for a state trooper accused of murder, and now the victim's family is speaking out.
With this car? I have no idea. Correct. Against the wall? This is correct, yes. Okay.
Brian Keeley was accused of hitting Samuel Sterling with an unmarked vehicle last year in the city of Kentwood near Grand Rapids. Keeley was trying to arrest Sterling on several warrants. Sterling later died from his injuries. Last week, a judge dismissed the case, and Sterling's loved ones are now demanding justice.
It's just unbelievable to me.
Because that's something that a parent should never have to teach their kid, to watch out for the law.
The officers are trained to run after him and take him into custody without running him over with a car. That's not justice.
Well, Fox 2 reached out to the attorney representing Brian Keeley. They didn't want to go on camera, but did release a statement to us. That statement saying, "We are grateful the court recognized this case for what it truly was, a law enforcement officer doing his job in a high-risk encounter with a known fugitive." End quote. Keeley still faces 2 civil lawsuits, including one in federal court. Oh, it is a viral challenge sweeping the country right now, and it's made its way to Metro Detroit. Take a look.
You're on Ring cameras. It's not hard to figure it out. We got to find something more productive. We played games as kids, but we didn't put our lives in danger like that.
Over the weekend, police in Van Buren Township received 2 different reports of teenagers running up to people's front doors, kicking them, then running away. While it's supposed to be a prank, officers say it's actually a felony, which can carry prison time. There's also concern an angry homeowner could seek revenge and someone could get seriously hurt or worse.
Like, okay, it's got to be, this is unsafe. Like, in this culture, in this world today, you can't go around playing like that. We can't all keep donating to GoFundMes when these young people are not handling their business and doing the right thing, and you're going to kick in the wrong door.
Meanwhile, a different but fiery uproar happening in Macomb Township when it comes to a proposed Sheetz gas station. Take a listen to what happened here.
You have 1,000 residents that are refusing this.
Mr. Jawad, would you like to leave the meeting?
No, I'm not.
You're invited to leave. We have sheriffs here to escort you. You want to scream and yell and you're out of order?
mouth, piece of.
One man ended up being removed from last night's planning commission meeting. Sheetz did get approved to redevelop an old CVS at 23 Mile and North Avenue.
It's a nice place to come get something to eat. It's very convenient, you know. I would tell anyone to come try it.
Everybody drive in front of their gas station, you can hear the loudspeaker and the noise, and you don't need 3 gas stations on that corner.
The board's approval came with a few conditions, though. Sheetz will have to find a way to control light pollution and worries over proper drainage. A new ad campaign hopes to find a living kidney donor. A Metro Detroit man has desperately been trying to find a match. Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly shares his story.
What a way to get your attention.
And it has some pretty bold messaging.
A billboard on I-75 near 14 Mile in Oakland County. It's one of 8 in Metro Detroit put up with a dire mission.
I'm at a point where, you know, I need to find a kidney.
Michael Staller has been dealing with inadequate kidney function since he was a child. And during this journey, his dad, Bruce, who works for Lamar Advertising, has been by his side.
Bruce is one of my sales reps. Came into his one-on-one a little upset a few weeks ago, and I said, okay, what's going on? And he shared that his son was struggling. I said, what can we do?
That conversation led to this billboard marketing campaign to rally around an employee's son.
This one is free because it's our employee. But in the words of our CEO, we just want to treat others like we would like to be treated.
It's a message Michael's little girl Bella hopes resonates because she wants all who sees these billboards to help her father.
She knows when I'm not feeling well, so she'll up to me and kind of like rub my back or give me a hug or a kiss.
And as Michael continues his search for a kidney, that gets people talking, and that raises awareness about organ donation.
You know, there's 2,600 people waiting in the state of Michigan right now, and some of them will wait 3, 4, 5 years to get that deceased donor transplant. And so I think, you know, patients are more educated and informed and aware that they need to be their own advocate.
In the past, Michael did use social media in his search, but the advertising company says these billboards will reach further.
They're all about between 100,000 and 200,000 impressions apiece.
Now this dad just hopes the right eyes see the billboard and contact him or even help make a difference for someone else.
This brings a little bit more awareness to lifestyle choices to prevent it, and also the fact that we need more people to consider donor. I think that that's a win-win.
In Oakland County, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
Well, Fox 2 Detroit Live at 2 is just getting started. Smoke from the massive wildfires burning in Canada continues to drift down over Michigan. The impact it can have on our bodies and the best way to protect ourselves coming up. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 2. We are taking a live look out at the area right now. 2:11 is your time. 84 degrees out there. It is quite toasty, so you make sure you hydrate. We will have some storms rolling in later, but for all of the details on that, let's check in with Derek Hebra.
All right, a little more active out there for Southeast Michigan later today as we have some showers and thunderstorms that are going to be rolling through. There is a chance that some of them could pack a little bit of a windy punch, and we're going to talk about all these details here right now. So let's jump into it. Here's Sky Tracker. You'll see that is a cold front, ladies and gentlemen, draping itself all the way down from parts of Canada way up there into Ontario, through the state of Michigan, down through Illinois. Now, we've got a little bit of rain that has made its way from the western side of the state, Holland, Fenville, South Haven, already pushing across mid-Michigan. Now, on the other side of all that rain is cloudier and cooler air. Out ahead of it, which is where we are, it is certainly warmer. And at 84 degrees, also a bit breezy. Those winds blowing out of the south-southwest at around 21 miles an hour, maybe as high as 25 miles an hour in certain spots. Now, there's the front. The storms and continued shower and rain activity down near St. Louis into parts of Illinois and Indiana, and that's all moving in our direction. Now, heading through the next several hours, we're going to see the rain and storm chances begin to increase, but the severe threat is slightly subdued today, but that said, it's also not 0%. Now let's take a look at Fox Futurecast as we kick this into motion. You'll see through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours, there is that rain and storm chance out there with those deeper oranges and yellows. That would be your isolated thunderstorms. Outside of the storms, we're going to see that rain move through. Some small hail is a possibility too. All of this lasting through the evening and night into early Thursday morning, but then by later Thursday, we should start to dry out a little bit. Small chance of a sprinkle for some southern communities on Friday, but overall, I think it's going to be really today into early tomorrow where we have that window for some rain. Hail is a possibility, small hail for sure. Winds up to 60 miles per hour, and then if you get stuck under one of those thunderstorms, that rain's going to come down pretty heavy and pretty quick. The one good news that the rain will do, and not just the rain, but the cold front, it's going to kick the smoke out of here. So here's the smoke model showing that after a few days of some hazy sunshine, that smoke is going to exit the region as the cold front arrives. And it is a heck of a cold front. Take a look at some of these numbers from Mount Clemens, Monroe, and Detroit in the 80s. And those 60s on the back side of the front. Right along the front, you've got those 70s. And we're going to settle into some cooler air, no question about that, as we head into the hours tomorrow. We'll go from today's high temperature of nearly 80 degrees down into the 60s as we head into and through tomorrow afternoon. So there you go. It's going to be a decreasing temperature kind of day as that front passes along. You'll notice from 5 o'clock, 77, down to 69 by 10 p.m. tonight. Some of those storms could get to severe status, mostly due to the wind threat of 60 miles per hour. But outside of that, it's going to be the wind and the heavy downpours that are the real things to watch for. 62 degrees out there tonight. Still some rain lingering. That rain lingers actually into early Thursday morning, so some early showers continue. We'll go to 68. 77 on Friday. We're back to near normal heading into the weekend. And the weekend looks good. Now, Sunday we'll see some later showers, but those showers do arrive late, like after 8 p.m., so the majority of the weekend looking A-OK.
All right, that's what we like to hear. Thank you, Derek. Well, the Detroit Grand Prix is now over, but not everyone left Detroit satisfied. IndyCar driver Pato O'Ward, who is currently second in the series standings and finished the race in 7th place, voiced his frustration with the downtown track. Take a listen.
No, I don't sugarcoat things. I hate this place. It sucks. It's a horrible track. I really miss Belle Isle. You get to really appreciate what an IndyCar can do in Belle Isle. Here, you're just Mickey Mousing around the whole time.
Yeah, a lot of the drivers we talked to at the Detroit Grand Prix, they were saying how, Belle Isle was the place to be. And now that that's changed, you heard it from him. They don't like it. It wasn't a shot at the city, though, just a track from Pato. He wants the race back on Belle Isle, but it will remain downtown through 2028. There is, however, an option after that for 3 additional years to keep it downtown through 2031. I heard it's a bumpy ride for those drivers downtown. Well, Detroit City Football Club will soon be scoring goals in their own backyard. They're packing up and moving from Hamtramck to Corktown. And as Fox 2's Lauren Edwards reports, the ultimate win is the development around it.
It's exciting. Soccer's grown so much since then, but at the same time, there's be a whole new generation of kids exposed to it in ways that can't imagine at this point.
World Cup 2026 is 1 year away, and for the first time in 30 years, it'll be on American turf or pitch.
I think it's a big moment for the sport in this country. The first soccer game I ever went to was in '93 when they did the warm-up for the World Cup at the Silverdome.
Now Detroiters can catch homegrown professional soccer right here in their own backyard.
We've bought 17 acres of land focused on the hospital site, and we're building a forever home for soccer here in Metro Detroit.
Co-owner and founder Sean Mann says they'll soon be moving from Hamtramck to Corktown. The new home will be a modern soccer-specific stadium that fans will surely love, he says. And now they've brought some land around it.
We have some adjacent parcels which we'll use for parking, but also we're working on partnerships with developers to do some complementary development that supports the stadium project.
Like match day bars and hotspots that people can visit any time of year.
I think you'll see retail that you would have in a neighborhood, whether it's dry cleaning or a record shop or whatever.
Mann says he hopes the team scores many goals in the new stadium, and that'll lead to wins, but the ultimate goal is building up the community, which he says will be a win for everyone.
We have an opportunity to do a very neighborhood-oriented stadium that ties in all the positivity that's happening on Michigan Avenue in Corktown with all the positivity on Verner and Mexican Town, and do something that's, I think, very unique, very locally oriented project.
So again, this building will be coming down soon, and Detroit City FC says they hope to open their new soccer-specific stadium by the beginning of their 2027 season. Reporting here in Detroit, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
Yo, pass me a bubble pop.
Bet.
Super pop. Bubble pop. Super pop. Bubble pop.
Whoa. Welcome to the House of Faygo. For unbeatable flavors and more, visit houseoffaygo.com. Hey. Now that's a dynamic duo.
Love that so much. Sonic and Knuckles are back, but this time in a Faygo commercial. Detroit Lions running back Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery seen enjoying blue and pink Faygo Pops. Of course, it's not their first time together on screen. They also appeared as Sonic and Knuckles during the 2024 Thanksgiving game promo. Tom, have you tried the blue or pink Faygos?
I haven't tried either one yet.
I've tried the pink one.
Did you?
Yeah, it tastes just like cotton candy.
Great.
Yeah, wasn't bad.
I like Faygo.
Me too. All right, well, coming up, culinary arts classes for the youth. We'll tell you how they can get cooking this summer right after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 2. Your time right now is 2:21 as we take this live look out over the city. It is hot and humid out there, 84 degrees, so brace yourselves for that if you're heading out. Empowering young boys and girls with essential cooking skills. This month, they can enjoy a hands-on culinary experience. Joining us now with more is Gianna Oliver with Mission Possible. Welcome to the show, Gianna.
Thank you.
So tell us, your organization is based out of Flint.
Yes.
Talk about the mission here and what you do in the community.
So our goal is building sustainable communities through financial literacy and education. And one way to do that is doing a cooking class. And we're bringing that here to Detroit.
Yes, you are. This month, you're hosting your Nourish Her plus Him cooking class. What can people expect?
People can expect to learn culinary skills, knife safety, kitchen skills. They can learn just basic cooking skills, building confidence, learning a nutritious way on normal things that we eat every day.
How long have you been doing this?
This is now our 3rd year.
Wow. And what inspired this particular way of getting the kids involved?
We've seen a need in Flint because Flint is a food desert. So what better way to help than to teach kids how to cook their own meals?
Yeah, and what reaction are you getting from them when they're learning these things and cooking their own meals?
It's so great. They are so excited. They're so eager to learn. And a lot of them have the skill. They just have never really used a real knife or something like that. So we are happy to be able to give them the tools they need and the education along with it.
Now, what made you want to bring this from Flint to the city of Detroit?
We've seen the same need in underserved communities where we want to give the opportunity of education and something fun.
Are there any other cities on your radar right now that you're hoping to reach in the future?
Not yet, but we do hope to reach every city in Michigan.
Now, who would you say this class is for?
This class right now is for anybody 6 to 16 years old, and they can sign up with our QR code. And yeah, please sign up. Bring the kids.
And again, tell us when and where it's happening.
It is happening here at the Detroit People Food Co-op. They can sign up with the QR code on the screen. Thank you to Henry Ford Health and Kendall Electric for sponsoring this event. It is 2 sessions. Sign up yesterday.
Sign up yesterday, so get to it. And what do you love about what you're doing with this, helping these kids learn how to cook and just being a part of it all?
I love that I get to inspire something new. You never know what small thing a kid might take from the class. They might want to be a farmer or they might want to be a chef.
Yeah.
Just based off what they learn in the class.
Of course. Love that. Here's that QR code for you for more information. Be sure to scan that to get your kids involved. And you can also check out their Facebook page as well. Incredible thing you're doing here for the kids. Happy it's coming here to Detroit. Yes. Can't wait for that. Thanks so much for joining us and all that you do, Gianna.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, tonight on Fox, dynamic duos going head-to-head on MasterChef. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin spoke with one of the judges about what advice she has for chefs feeling stressed to impress. We'll have that for you coming up later in our 4 o'clock show. But for now, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you after Jay Towers.
Detroit Towers in the morning. 100.3 WNIC.
Chelsea, what is this now? So these are Disney's biggest soundtracks of all time?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Can we guess? Can we put something out there and see?
Well, I have clips for a lot of them. I can play you clips.
I mean, you can guess, I guess, if you wanted to, but
I just assume The Lion King is going to be up there.
Okay, that's probably a good bet. Anything else? What else?
That's all I care about.
Okay. Well, why don't you do three? What do you think the three that made it are?
Little Mermaid.
Okay.
That's the second one I care about.
Okay.
And I don't know, what's something that everyone likes? Moana. Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it Mulan?
That's a different thing.
Moana.
That's
Moana.
She said it weird, but she meant Moana with the rock.
Moana. Yeah. Right.
Oh, did I combine Mulan and Moana?
Okay. It was an inflection thing. Here at number 9 is Frozen. And Dina Menzel.
Adele Dazeem.
Wait, Adele Dazeem. Wait, that's her, right?
Yeah.
That's not, what's their name? The other one.
It's not Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell.
No.
Okay. Also, Mulan. Oh, I love this song.
I know, it's so good.
So good. Beautiful. Beautiful song.
Never saw that or Frozen. I do know that song.
Oh, Mulan is really good.
I'm sure.
I think that you would like it. The Christina Aguilera version of that song, too, by the way, is just like...
Oh, that's probably how I know it, yeah.
How about Hercules? Oh, this is a great song, too.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Look, how appropriate.
Oh, look at you in your Disney cup today.
It's like you knew.
It's like I did.
Look at you. Yes, Allison, at number 6, it is, in fact, and you nailed it, a Moana.
What can I say except you're welcome for the tides?
Is that The Rock?
It is The Rock.
Hey, it's okay, you're welcome.
Oh my God, it's so cute when he sings that to little kids, right? They see him and that's what they want to hear.
Oh.
And he'll do that whole thing.
Whether it's for Make-A-Wish, his daughters were obsessed with that
Wait a
song.
minute.
He's pretty great.
Didn't he do it at CinemaCon?
Did he? I don't know. Was he at... Oh, yeah.
He was at CinemaCon last year.
Yeah.
And he did your... Yes, we were there.
Wow.
Good Lord.
I brain blocked that one.
Tarzan is in the most beloved soundtrack. I watched. Did I tell you I watched this documentary of Phil Collins' son? Put his drum kit back together from like Genesis, and then Phil sat down and like just messed around a little bit with it because he can't really play anymore.
Is he in bad shape?
He's in bad shape.
Oh, that's too bad. That I should have known. That is a great soundtrack, and it's a very good Disney film. If you want to, like all Disney films, although I would imagine there's not a lot of crying in Moana. If I'm not saying that right, I don't know.
There's moments, but yeah.
Our neighbor Joyce, we used to give each other movies.
Yeah.
Leave them by the door. Like if we rented movies, we'd go, "You want to watch?" and vice versa. So she left that for us to watch, and like 17 heartbreaking things happen in Tarzan.
Really?
It kind of makes...
Literally every 20 minutes, I was bawling my eyes out from some disaster.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me laugh that Joyce, who was like 75, rented a children's film.
You know what the best one that Joyce gave us as a 75-year-old woman, and she rented it? Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow.
Yeah.
What was
it's hard out here for a pimp. Yeah. It's good. Joyce did that.
R.I.P. Joyce.
Yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Joyce. The Little Mermaid came in at number 4.
When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love?
I watched this with my daughter a lot.
I used to watch it with the twins all the time.
Yeah, it's good. It was a good one. It was also a good one when I had to get ready for work. Like, hey, you want to watch The Little Mermaid? Dad's got to get ready for work.
I have a problem with how it ends, though. I do have, it's kind of like a Titanic thing with me.
What, that she's able to walk and have the guy?
Yeah, I just think there's a way they could have been together where you don't have to leave your family.
Oh.
I feel like if we had brainstormed a little more, we could have come up with something.
She visits, though.
Does she?
Yeah, I think she visits.
Okay.
I saw Jodie Benson perform that song live at Disney one time.
Is she the Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And don't think she won't let you know about it.
Oh, yeah.
Jodie Benson. Number 3, Aladdin. Yeah, these are good. These are good. They bring you back. Number 2, Allison, you didn't mention as one that would make it in here. I'm surprised.
Just a little change.
Well, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. That was,
Small to say the least.
Angela Lansbury.
Oh, Angela Lansbury. Murder, She Wrote.
You know, Sarah Douglas was in an episode of Murder, She Wrote.
She was?
She was. Yeah, it's great.
I want to go find it.
Oh,
How many seasons?
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. When you see somebody, because every time I'm like, hey, let's talk about Murder, She Wrote. She's like, oh, God, no, please. I can't talk about it to you again. I'm like, let's talk about Falcon Crest.
Yeah.
Lion King is number 1.
I love this song.
You got 2 big songs from Lion King, right?
So good.
It's our problem-free philosophy.
Apologies to all the other Disney films. And I like several, but
or Cinderella.
After The Lion King was made, Disney dropped the mic.
So
no one can be no Disney movie can be better than that.
Funny that you mentioned Cinderella because I was thinking the same thing. I'm surprised it's not like in the top 10, but I'm looking at the soundtrack right now.
Yeah.
There's really not much.
Right.
Oh, Sing Sweet Nightingale.
Isn't there a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boop?
Yeah, yeah.
But overall, like those are killer songs.
Big soundtracks. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. That's good to know. Fun. 100 points. So what happened on this day back in the day? 88 years ago in 1937, Oklahoma City grocery store owner Sylvan Goldman invented the shopping cart.
Oh, okay.
Now, I wonder for our cereal drive tomorrow, the Southgate Kroger location had the world's biggest shopping cart of all time. And it has been out at the Royal Oak location before. I wonder if they're going to bring it in tomorrow.
I walked by that like 5 times and I giggled every time.
Yeah, it's huge.
I literally could not get over it.
Allison totally reenacted like every scene from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes, I did.
It's a big shopping cart.
And then we go in again. Hey, did you see the big shopping cart?
I know. Guy's like, yeah, it's been here 4 days.
Yeah.
We've seen it. In 1947, the classic Christmas film Miracle on 34th Street was released. Always so odd. That's a great film, but so odd that movie was filmed. I mean, it was released in June, and I don't think it was. I don't think it was billed so much as a Christmas movie, and it was.
It's like some people can argue Home Alone's not necessarily a Christmas movie.
Well,
I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like
that one takes place at Christmas time.
But that one doesn't stand out as much as Miracle on 34th Street, which has all got Santa in it and department stores selling Christmas stuff. And it's like, yeah.
But it's funny because that name now is like reminds you of Christmas. But in that year, like a Miracle on 30, it would have been no different than, Oh Wow on 16th Street. Not going to mean anything Christmassy. It does now, and you get our point. 43 years ago in 1982, this movie,
They're here.
Poltergeist, was released.
I was just thinking about that movie yesterday because I was watching. I'm watching Old Criminal Minds because I don't have a show, and Jo Beth Williams was a guest in it. She was playing a professor.
Is she still alive?
Well, this was season 2 of Criminal Minds, which is like 18 years ago. I don't know, but I want to say she should be. But anyway, I started thinking about Poltergeist. And I was like, there's no reason Chelsea can't see that movie.
I'm not going to watch it.
By today's standards, I just don't know that. I mean, you watch the most goriest Datelines.
All right, well, you watch Home Alone 4 or 3,
Lord,
and I'll watch Poltergeist.
She can't handle Poltergeist. Is Craig T. Nelson still alive?
Who?
He has to be.
Craig T. Nelson. Will you look that up, please?
Yes.
He's the dad in Poltergeist and also coach.
He is. He is 81 years old.
81.
Wow.
Let's get him and Jo Beth together.
Why don't they go to Comic-Con?
That's a heck of an idea.
Do you think Dawn can work on it?
I'll have to check.
Okay.
to check.
This guy's been in a lot.
Yeah, it's the TV show Coach.
He's a big deal.
With Shelley Fabre.
Watched it every day.
And Luther. Yeah, it was a great show. 41 years ago in 1984, the album Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen was released. It contains 7 top 10 singles. Fantastic album. 22 years ago in 2003, Martha Stewart stepped down as the CEO of her company just hours after being indicted on insider trading charges, including obstruction of justice, conspiracy, security fraud.
I need to watch that doc on, I think it's Netflix.
Yeah, it's good. I started watching it. I got to finish it. It was so good. I mean, the first 20 minutes I saw was unbelievable.
Did she step back up in her company?
I think she
now that the legal heat is off.
I think so. That was 2003.
Did she put Snoop Dogg in charge?
I think so. In 2011, Pentatonix formed as a band. They won the 3rd season of NBC's The Sing-Off in 2011. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
You guys didn't?
No, I just thought they were just this a cappella band.
Because I went in reverse. I was a fan of The Sing-Off, hosted by Nick Lachey.
I thought so.
And it was a fun show. It's only at Christmas time. But, you know, all these singing competition shows get old and tedious.
Yeah.
That one was fun. And that is where you met Pentatonix.
All right, there you go. WNIC, Dearborn, Detroit. It is time for Hollywood Minute now with Chelsea. It is brought to you this time around by David Femininio. Get David, get paid.
This might really surprise you, but billionaire Mr. Beast has to borrow money from his mom for his upcoming wedding. He said, I personally have very little money because I just reinvest everything. But sure, on paper, the businesses I own are worth a lot.
Oh, he's not liquid.
Oh, is that what that means?
It's not liquid.
I don't know. Can't you just like cash out
something
some
out?
of your
I don't
stocks?
think you can. I think you've got to borrow from, like, in other words, his company, when he's like renting out the pyramids, have the account to do that. But I guess he can't pull money from the account and be like, I'm going to pay for my wedding.
Right. That is, if I'm a billionaire, I want access to my money.
Yeah.
What does Mr. Beast's mom do that she can cover it?
I don't know.
She's just the mom. Moms have, their
money.
benefits.
They do.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival was announced yesterday. First round of performers are huge. Here's just a few to name. Jelly Roll, Tate McRae, Mariah Carey, Maroon 5, Ed Sheeran, Bryan Adams, Glorilla, John Fogerty, Lil Wayne, Sammy Hagar, and Tim McGraw. That takes place in Vegas, September 19th and 20th.
You know I love Glorilla.
I know you do.
And you know I love Mariah Carey.
Mm-hmm. I know you do. Are you know how sometimes you go?
Yeah.
And you're backstage?
Yeah.
Chicken nuggets and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Walking around?
Boy, yeah.
You think you're going to do... Because we always say we're going to tag along one of these years.
Yeah.
That would be cool to see Sammy Hagar.
Well, all right. It's good to know.
Yeah, we'll just put it out there and see what happens.
Just so you know, off the air, just a little something for you. Just when Allison says chicken nuggets, just know that that's taking a knife and just digging it a little deeper. But go ahead.
Until now, in-season episodes of Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune were only available to watch on TV live. But now Hulu on Disney Plus, and Peacock are going to be streaming new episodes just one day after they broadcast.
Oh, all right.
Ellen Pompeo shared that she was stopped by TSA for some sunflower seeds and was told that it was likely due to chemicals on the seeds' packaging. The incident escalated to a bomb squad being brought in, and it delayed her an hour. But those pathogens...
But the fun guy made it in.
Yeah.
The pathogens had no trouble.
They got right in.
Yep. And finally, the Gibson guitar that Michael J. Fox plays in Back to the Future has been missing since 1985, which is the year that the movie came out. They are trying to find it, and all the stars are teaming up to try to get this guitar back.
Michael J. Fox. You may know me as Marty McFly.
Leah Thompson here. I played Lorraine McFly in Back to the Future.
We need your help.
We are on the lookout for a missing guitar.
We're trying to find the guitar I played in Back to the Future.
No one's seen that guitar since 1985, and we need to find it.
And then they give like the website of where you can, if you know where it is or whatever, have tips.
I bet you, listen, if they can't find it or hasn't been identified by now, it probably went from somebody to somebody to somebody to somebody, and it's like either in a basement or it's thrown out.
And that's what they said. It's probably in someone's garage somewhere.
I don't understand why they care. I would understand why they cared in 1985.
Yeah.
But it's like 40 years.
It's worth so much money right now. It's part of a franchise. That's like that Maltese Falcon they were trying to find forever.
But why did they wait 40 years to try and find it? Didn't they care in 2000?
Yeah, I don't know.
1992?
I don't know.
You don't have those answers?
Why don't you call Biff? Did he tweet you once?
TV tonight. We have Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals and Jeopardy Master.
All right, so here's the deal. Thursday morning, we're going to be live on Fox 2 and, of course, our show, 100.3 WNIC, and we'll be at the big cereal drive, which is coming up for its 15th year. This is 12 Mile in Royal Oak, just off 75. We had a great time downriver on Saturday, but this is the big one. So a lot of people come by tomorrow. Like already, I've gotten, who do I make the check out to, which is nice.
Wow, that is nice. And Chelsea got anonymous money mailed to her house.
That's right.
Yes, I got a $5 bill to go towards buying cereal.
Oh, very nice. In the future, you bring that to us or send it to the station.
Are you going to pocket it?
No.
Oh.
Of course not. But yeah, no, please don't send anything to my home.
Yeah. Please stop trying to look up Chelsea's home. It's not right. It's 2025. And
it's just an Allison
You
thing.
can see that even the sweetest thing, even the nicest thing could come across creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be out there. Our nurses from Children's Hospital of Michigan will be out there with us as always. Alan Longstreet will be out there. We'll check in with him in a little while. We'll be broadcasting live with him and then just meeting you. Here's the deal. Kids that are on the school lunch program throughout the year often get breakfast and lunch at school
for free.
Like back in the day when I was a kid, if you're on the school lunch program, you got lunch. But now they do breakfast and lunch. So usually in the morning you can go right into the cafeteria and get a bagel or something like that.
Oh, that's great. I remember seeing people eat like breakfast in my high school, but I didn't really think there was like a breakfast thing.
Yeah.
I would see people getting a carton of milk and an apple, but I guess there was breakfast too. But yeah.
So what happens is for a lot of kids in Southeast Michigan, when the school year ends, depending on what the situation is at home, sometimes those kids don't have access to food. So the nurses will tell you the cereal is great because you don't need it with milk. You don't need, it's nice with milk, but you don't necessarily have to have milk.
You don't need a fridge.
A handful of cereal is better than nothing.
Yeah, one of our promo girls that was with us in Southgate, who I had not met yet, so I can't remember her name. I feel terrible about that, but she's new, I think. She asked Chelsea and I, she's like, I don't want to sound stupid. She's like, but she didn't. And that's fine. She didn't understand the purpose of it. So we explained it to her.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, wow. It is like, it's hard to imagine that school would end and kids would struggle to eat.
Well, yeah, because when that's not your everyday life and a worry of yours, like how am I'm going to be really hungry all summer? Like you just don't think about it very much. But this is 15 years. I think we got to go all out.
Yeah. So listen, here's the deal. If you don't have time to at this point, go out and get tons of boxes of cereal, that's okay. If tomorrow is that one day that if you stop by on your way to work or make your way out to Royal Oak, the cereal drive goes on from 6 till noon. We are there from 6 until 10 live. So you come by, if you can't bring cereal, just give us a little bit of money because we can take the money and go get cereal and we get a really good price on the cereal too. So that helps.
Not only that, but our nurses are so good at finding the cereals that there's
they have the most servings.
The most servings for what you're buying. Yeah. So they're really, really good at that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll be out there tomorrow. That'll be fun. Hey, I want to give a shout out quickly. They asked me to collab with them on Instagram, and it's such a sweet video.
It's amazing. I can't believe they did that.
Blown away. But this is the Mount Clemens Montessori Academy. And what they did was they collected a bunch of cereal, and I don't want to get in trouble with this song, but anyway, there's all kids in this hallway, and they do like when you knock dominoes down of cereal boxes. That I am blown away. It goes all the way down the hallway, but all the kids are cheering on the cereal. You see the whole school. Thank you so much. That's going to help out so many families and kids, and getting the whole school involved like that that's why I said it makes you like a cereal champion, a cereal warrior. That's right.
Oh, is that a thing that we say?
I say
Are you a cereal warrior?
I said cereal warrior.
Oh, look at you setting trends and making up.
Battling hunger with cereal.
Single-handedly curing hunger. Oh, no. At least here.
Let's not push it, but...
I just wanted to jump in and pile on. I'll help.
Bring some cereal, all right, or some money, and we'll see you in Royal Oak. We're joined by Fox 2 meteorologist Alan Longstreet. Alan Longstreet, good morning to you.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Alan's going to be joining us in Royal Oak tomorrow for our big cereal drive. Thursday, back again.
It wouldn't be the same without him.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're able to come every year.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like a staple.
It is.
thing.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fantastic. Honestly, it's a delight. It's so, it is a fun time out there. You guys got, all the nurses out there, and you know what's going to happen. We're going to do a little Get Fit. Haley's coming as well.
Oh.
So she gets the boxes and she does some thing. And
Man, you love getting fit everywhere, don't you?
He really does.
Or of
Is that going to be mandatory?
Yeah, yes, it is. And bring your galoshes as well.
Remember when he tried making us do that last year, Allison? And somehow
Yes.
we just were able to.
Wow, I blocked it out.
Were you in there though for a minute or no?
I don't
Not
think
at all.
so.
You guys pretended to have a break or one of those radio breaks you
Yeah,
had
I
to
think
do.
we did have a radio break.
Okay.
We
what
do
we like
that.
to do.
We do have that to rely on. Oh, I'd love to.
God,
I gotta be on the radio.
Kellogg's is here. We got to go chat with him.
Right.
We don't want to leave Tony the Tiger waiting. You work out.
Yeah, he's actually in the workout, so it'll be fun.
Oh, good. Here's the other little, I think, glimmer of hope that I saw was that it looks like for some reason of all these hot and sultry days, at least tomorrow morning does not seem super hot.
Yeah, no, it won't be super hot. Temps will be fine. The big question is rain.
Oh.
The big question is rain. And it might be a sloppy mess, but I don't care. I think that'll be great.
Wait a minute. It'll be a sloppy mess.
It could be wet. Not snow. I'm not talking snow. Could be wet. Could be rain.
Good thing we're at a Kroger where we can walk inside.
No, for sure. I thought about it all week. I thought about texting you guys on Sunday, like, the data doesn't look great. But I didn't want to put that out there. It's irrelevant because even if it is rainy, so what? That'll just be the fun time that it was a wet.
Fine.
It's going to be fine.
I like your attitude.
Yeah. No, honestly, look, a little rain. You got a raincoat, galoshes, an umbrella if you need it. Whatever.
Oh, okay. Don't put that out there. I thought it
Maybe I'm going to have to wear my Hunter rain boots.
He just wants you to be prepared. It might not happen at all.
Look, I will say it was looking wet all week. Some of the data that came in this morning was starting to peel that rain back earlier, but that doesn't give me a ton of confidence. It's a glimmer of hope. Hopefully that trend continues.
Okay.
You're really freaking him out.
It's just the raw data.
This is why I didn't text on Sunday.
I know.
I'm not freaked out. I just worry about things we plug in.
Oh,
that's all. I just worry about things we plug in.
Yeah, we don't want to get electrocuted.
One other thing. If it's rainy, God forbid, if it's rainy tomorrow, will it be windy too?
Not like severe storms.
Okay.
No.
Okay. It'll just be rain.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Severe threat is today, but it's limited. Tomorrow morning, no, we're
All
good
right.
to go.
You know, when we did our cereal drive Saturday, it was incredibly windy, and there were projectiles almost taking eyes out all over the place.
Oh, it felt like winter.
I dodged a plastic sign.
yeah,
that
it
was
did. Yeah, that's
flying
no
by
good.
me.
I always say, if I'm going to be impaled, I hope it's by a WNIC tent.
That's put it on his gravestone.
You always
Put it on his
say
gravestone.
that.
I always say that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
All right. So thunderstorms today, and then maybe some rain tomorrow morning, and and then we'll continue to talk.
Yeah, and then we got 70s through the weekend.
All right. Thank you, Alan Longstreet, WNIC.
Incredible.
Time for That's Incredible stories from around the world and beyond. A kid in Florida found a message in a bottle.
It's so fun when that happens.
That two kids in Hawaii tossed in the ocean, 7 years ago. Let me play a little bit of
I was just walking, and then the wave went, it crashed into each other, so I almost went back, but I grabbed it really quick, and then I showed my mom. A piece of trash, and then I saw the note in the bottle. I was like, it's a note in a bottle. Hello, people who found this. You will be happy that you found this. Why? Because you will know me with this number.
And I just popped into my phone and decided to text. They texted me back. It was actually a 21-year-old girl from Hawaii and her little brother who had also found a message in a bottle.
That's incredible.
You know, this girl who found the bottle is from Howell.
She is?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
How did the bottle get to Howell?
Yeah.
Well, the family must have been in.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. I was with you. I was like, that's legit. I put a note on a balloon once.
Oh, yeah.
And it went to, I think it's Wheaton, Illinois. I'm not.
It got that far?
Yeah, because I was in Chicago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I take it from here.
Yeah, no. I was in Chicago. I think Wheaton is a city. But anyway, they found it and wrote me a letter.
Oh, that's because back then that's what you had to do. Now you can put your cell phone on there.
Yeah.
The Memphis Police Department is searching for two men who were recently caught on camera leaving a home with a stolen vanity, faucet, and countertop while riding bikes. It's unclear if they have any leads.
That's incredible.
Well, they got a lot of upper body strength, though.
But who's stealing all that?
Right.
Are they doing it for the copper? There's no copper in there, is there?
No, but also, can you invest in a getaway car?
I just feel like your getting away will be so much smoother.
If you're stealing a faucet, I'm assuming all you have is a bike.
But didn't you also say a countertop, a sink?
A countertop, yeah.
And you're on your bike with that?
Okay. You're right. The upper body strength really is there.
Police in Pennsylvania are on the lookout for a thief who robbed a local gas station by flashing a gun and a knife and then got away on rollerblades.
He was shouting at me without any reason. I just work hard. I'm going to say same thing to him. Like, if you need money, if you want money, then you have to earn it for yourself.
Earn it for yourself.
I thought you were going to say that he had a finger gun.
Oh, we've seen that before, too. Oh, they do this. They put the finger in the hilt, you know.
Again, I don't want to get in the mind of dumb criminals, but you went so far as to have a gun and a knife. Like, you show up prepared, but then you get away on rollerblades.
I don't know. Fox 2's Alan Longstreet, he blades all the time, and he might be able to get away with something like that.
No, but his...
Where was Alan that night?
His biggest culprit is what? Like a stone?
Right.
Like, doesn't that mess up the rollerblades?
Yes.
A call about a possible home burglary in Texas ended with 2 arrests after deputies discovered the caller was under the influence of drugs and hallucinating. A large amount of drugs and guns were found. There were no intruders.
That's incredible.
Wow. That was a bad trip.
Bad trip. A woman on TikTok is being roasted for a hack she learned from her Italian grandmother. In the video, she uses a cut cucumber to grease a pan to make a slippery fried egg. But commentators note that she's using a non-stick pan and argue no Italian grandmother would pass on using oil.
That's incredible.
And that's true.
And that's true. And also, I'm sorry, I don't have an Italian grandmother. But I'm pretty sure a cucumber's not greasing anything.
No, it was a non-stick pan.
I know, but let's say it's not. Let's say it's not.
Yeah.
Let's say you need to grease that pan.
Right.
A cucumber is not going to do that for
No, of
you.
course
That
not.
is water.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
That's incredible is upsetting me.
You're preaching to the choir. That's it. An etiquette expert named William Hansen posted a video where he calls this the correct way to eat a banana.
Here's how to eat a banana. Now, we don't pick it up and peel it like a primate. Instead, we use a knife and fork.
No, you don't.
First, going from one end, cut it off. Then, cut off the other end, turning your knife on its side, score down the skin, peel back, and eat like so.
William, no one is going to do that.
British people are so polite and something refined. Just pick up the banana and eat it.
Plug your ears for this one. An 88-year-old woman in the Czech Republic was nearly buried alive when she woke up inside her coffin.
That's incredible.
We know how you don't like those stories.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my people, too.
Happen?
Did she have a big forehead?
I don't know. What would that have to do with it?
I don't know. I don't know. I just, she said she's from the Czech Republic. I wondered if we had similarities.
All right. No, I think that's it.
Okay.
That's actually it. There you go. There's your That's Incredible on 100.3 WN.
Live from the Fox 2 newsroom, this is Fox 2 Detroit.
Well, thanks so much for being here with us today on this Wednesday, June 4th. You know me, I'm Bree Teamer, and you're watching Fox 2 Detroit Live. Well, let's start with this. An investigation is underway in Macomb County after an officer-involved shooting left a man dead. Police say it all began with a traffic stop. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch has more on the investigation.
Shots fired, one down. He's armed with a gun, not moving now.
This is the call heard over the police radio in the moments following the gunfire. A 41-year-old man shot and killed by a Shelby Township police officer when we are told the Troy man pointed a weapon at him. This man had a front row seat to the aftermath.
It was right in my front yard. I could, I think, see what the crime scene was, right from my front yard.
This all happened right around 3:15 on Tuesday afternoon near 22 Mile in Van Dyke. That's where a Shelby Township police officer pulled over this white caravan close to the Hotspot coffee shop. But instead of handing over his license and registration, the man hightailed it. So the officer ran after him.
I don't know what's going on in the world that's causing things like this to happen.
According to police, at some point during the foot chase, the officer took out his taser and the 41-year-old took out a gun. The Shelby Township officer then repeatedly told him to drop it. When the Troy man refused, the officer fired.
OIS, officers are 10-4.
People don't understand. Stop. Listen to what you're being told. It's got to stop somewhere.
Police have not yet identified the driver who was killed or said why he was stopped in the first place. That, of course, all part of the investigation into the officer-involved shooting, a situation that was clearly too close for comfort for many.
It's something you just see on the news, you don't think it's going to happen in Shelby Township. You don't think it's going to happen near your home.
Now, the officer involved in the shooting is on administrative leave, and that is standard procedure in situations like this. It is also standard procedure to have an outside agency take a look at this, and that's exactly what the Macomb County Sheriff's Office is doing right now. The investigation has been turned over to them. We'll, of course, keep you posted if there are any updates, both on air as well as online. Reporting for Fox 2 News, I'm Robin Murdoch.
Several people taken into custody today after officers surrounded a home in Detroit after one of them witnessed a man being approached by a group of armed people and pistol whipped on a porch. Now, this happened during some sort of argument this morning near Grand River in Prevost. Police say an officer who was already in the area on an unrelated investigation saw the whole thing and called for backup. Investigators say some of the suspects then went inside and refused to come out. One left the scene and was later detained at a nearby Coney Island, and eventually all were taken into custody. We're told the victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Police are now looking into what led up to the assault, but say that first officer's actions today likely prevented a shooting. Well, a potentially dangerous social media prank is making the rounds again. It's called Door Kick Challenge and features people posting videos of what could be considered a crime. And as Fox 2's Dave Spencer reports, police are also worried that it could lead to violence.
A simple search on TikTok and you'll find this: home security videos of people kicking a front door and then running. These videos come from all over the country, and now you could add Van Buren Township to the list.
I saw the trend recently. I didn't know that it was happening in our neighborhood until yesterday.
Township police say they took 2 reports of doors being kicked just this past weekend.
It's a quiet neighborhood, family-oriented. This is not the neighborhood to come in and do that.
This video was submitted to police showing 3 males walking the sidewalk in broad daylight when one darts across and allegedly kicks the door of a home.
And I immediately thought, like, okay, it's got to be, this is unsafe. Like, in this culture, in this world today, you can't go around playing like that.
While kicking a door and running and putting that video on social media is a trend, police here in Van Buren Township say it's no joke to them. In fact, it's a felony, and if the people are caught, they'll be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah, police are taking it serious, and we are too, as homeowners.
She says there are a lot of people in the township who take home security very seriously, meaning what's intended to be a prank can go wrong quickly.
We can't all keep donating to GoFundMes when these young people are not handling their business and doing the right thing, and you're going to kick in the wrong door.
Police do have video of the suspects, and now neighbors are becoming more aware.
You're on Ring cameras. It's not hard to figure it out.
The hope is the suspects themselves will realize the gravity of the situation and turn themselves in.
We got to find something more productive. We played games as kids, but we didn't put our lives in danger like that.
In Van Buren Township, Dave Spencer, Fox 2 News.
Well, another Sheetz is coming to Metro Detroit, and it's one a lot of neighbors got fired up about last night in Macomb Township. Fox 2's Dave Kenshin joins us with more on that and some concerns that Sheetz is addressing after speaking to the company today. Dave, this has been a pretty big thing, the Sheetz coming here to the Metro Detroit area. I'm not quite understanding why, though.
Well, it's a Pennsylvania-based company, kind of central Pennsylvania, near the Philadelphia area. And basically what they're doing is they're wanting to increase their footprint across the Midwest. So they've been approved. They've got 18 stores, actually 19 as of last night, approved for construction. There's one going up right now on 23 Mile. We just came back from 23 Mile. And just off of 94 into Baltimore. That one's under construction now. And, this is a company that says that they offer all-in-one gas station service, food, kind of, a long list of ready, made to order. There's a keypad. You can type in what you want. And they make it right there. They make everything fresh right there. And then also they have a grocery store too. These are popular places along with like a Wawa, that type of thing, or a Buc-ee's, really popular on the East Coast. They want to make their way westward. But a lot of neighbors say, they're concerned about the fact that it's a 24-hour operation. They say it's going to be too noisy. They worry about the increase of traffic coming to the area and even the potential of crime because it's a 24/7 operation.
Yeah, but I feel like the resistance that Sheetz is being met with, it's concerning a little bit because there's other organizations and whatnot that increase the foot traffic, increase whatnot in the area. But it seems like specifically when it comes to Sheetz, I mean, I know you said it's a Pennsylvania company coming into this area, Metro Detroit. They're already on their second or third building establishment, but it's just kind of confusing to me. I'm just not connecting the dots. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something.
I think a lot of it is there's folks on both sides of this that say they understand people resist, find change hard to resist. Now that gentleman right there is Eddie Jawad. He owns about his company, Jawad Investment Group. They own about 20 gas stations across Metro Detroit. And he's concerned that this big company is going to put either his company, maybe not necessarily out of business, but he's concerned that it's really going to affect business because a lot of the gas stations in the area across Metro Detroit are owned by families. They're independent, franchises versus this big company that's going to come in with lower prices. And then you combine that with the food options and everything else. They worry that they're simply going to be driven out of business. But for a lot of other neighbors, it's the lighting. These businesses, the Sheetz, they're going to be open 24/7, so they're going to have a lot of lights on at their property. And in fact, what happened here in Macomb Township last night is that the township approved this particular location to come into an old CVS lot at 23 Mile and North Avenue with the condition that they have a way to deal with the lighting concerns and also drainage, environmental. That's another issue. One of the reasons this proposal, a similar proposal in Livonia was shot down at 8 Mile and Newburgh, basically that border between Farmington Hills and Novi, is that a lot of residents were really concerned about what if there is a contamination of some kind of a spill. There's a golf course nearby, there's wildlife, there's a wooded area, there's a part of a river there, I think the Rouge River. What's going to happen there? So they want to see a lot of these towns, that's the Clinton River thing. So a lot of people want to see, changes made so that these concerns are addressed.
Yeah, and I think that is so important for, community concerns to be addressed. So I love that we're hearing so much from the community and really understanding how they feel about it. It's just there are so many different outcomes, so many different things that could happen when it comes to this. And did you have a chance to speak with someone at the corporate office?
Well, we talked to the comms team today. They weren't able to do an interview with us today. We're working on something for later in the week. But they've said holistically that they certainly respect all these communities nearby, all these neighbors, all their concerns. They're working with the townships, the local governments to try to address a lot of these issues. But Sheetz also points out that they believe strongly in being a good neighbor. They say that every grand opening, they donate money to food drives, to food banks. They're involved with Special Olympics. They're involved with a lot of organizations. They want to support food banks and all kinds of charities in the communities they live in because they believe in being a good neighbor. So that's part of this too. They say they really want to invest in the community, not just bring a business there, but they really want to invest and be a part of the community fabric too.
Have you heard anything about why they want to expand to Michigan? I mean, maybe that's part of the issue.
It's just, the fact that there's certainly it's a big market. It's, Metro Detroit, southeastern Michigan's home to about 4.5 million people roughly. Certainly they know as people travel up north, if they can get their gas stations and convenience centers along some of the highway routes as people are going up north, that's a lot of traffic for them too. But also just the basic hustle and bustle across the Midwest. They feel like, they could really provide a service is what they tell us.
It's one of those things that's not going anywhere, at least anytime soon, next 10 years. Everyone needs gas, right? Yeah. Maybe some snacks for the road trip. Everyone needs that stuff. So, Dave, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Well, Fox 2 Detroit Live at 3 is just getting started. After the break, we've been waiting a while for the weather to warm up, and so have the mosquitoes. Coming up, how to protect yourself from those bites. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit's Live. You are looking live downtown Detroit, where there's a lot happening down there. Apparently, our Dave Kenchin, he said he's going to a concert. Who is it? Heart. And I'm not familiar with them, but you may be. Tom is. I think it's more of like a 70s, 80s
old people
rock band kind of thing. I do like some old school jams. So I won't say old people because I might like it. You gotta play me. You gotta play me something. Then I'll be able to tell. All right, moving on. Now, the official start of summer may be a couple weeks away, but these hot and humid temperatures come with the dreaded mosquitoes. And if you feel like you've been a target to these pesky little insects before, listen to this, because Fox's Barry Baumgarten has some ways to prevent the bites.
The warmer and wetter weather is creating excellent conditions for blood-sucking and disease-spreading mosquitoes to thrive. And one mistake you don't want to make is thinking you only need protection if you're going deep into the woods.
If you're walking the dog 2 or 3 times a day or just out in your yard gardening, you're as prone to mosquito bites and tick bites as you are if you're walking the Appalachian Trail.
According to insect specialists like Eric Benson of Clemson University, mosquitoes are attracted to the smell of people's body odor. Repellents help mask our scent.
Really what it does is hide you from the insect finding you.
You can also wear long-sleeve shirts and pants to minimize exposed skin. Meanwhile, if you're hoping citronella candles will make a dent, you're going to need a lot.
They're volatilized in the air. And so for it to be effective, you have to have a certain concentration of those volatiles coming out.
But are some people just natural mosquito magnets? Previous studies suggest the insects prefer people with type O blood, but some researchers say that's debatable.
I wouldn't say that was really strong data.
Benson says mosquitoes are attracted to the CO2 produced when we exhale. People exercising usually produce more. And because mosquitoes like the heat, the higher your body temperature, the more delectable you may become. Your fashion sense may also make an impact.
Mosquitoes tend to like the darker colors. And the darker colors probably also radiate more heat.
Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
All right, well, let's check in on our weather with Derek Cabra, because there's some storms that are possibly making its way in our direction. So let's just check in with Derek Cabra, see what's really happening.
A little more active out there for southeast Michigan later today, as we have some showers and thunderstorms that are going to be rolling through. There is a chance that some of them could pack a little bit of a windy punch, and we're going to talk about all these details here right now. So let's jump into it. Here's Sky Tracker. You'll see that is a cold front, ladies and gentlemen, draping itself all the way down from parts of Canada way up there into Ontario, through the state of Michigan, down through Illinois. Now, we've got a little bit of rain that has made its way from the western side of the state, Holland, Fenville, South Haven, already pushing across mid-Michigan. Now, on the other side of all that rain is cloudier and cooler air. Out ahead of it, which is where we are, it is certainly warmer. And at 84 degrees, also a bit breezy. Those winds blowing out of the south-southwest at around 21 miles an hour, maybe as high as 25 miles an hour in certain spots. Now, there's the front. The storms and continued shower and rain activity down near St. Louis into parts of Illinois and Indiana, and that's all moving in our direction. Now, heading through the next several hours, we're going to see the rain and storm chances begin to increase, but the severe threat is slightly subdued today. But that said, it's also not 0%. Now, let's take a look at Fox Futurecast as we kick this into motion. You'll see through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours, there is that rain and storm chance out there with those deeper oranges and yellows. That would be your isolated thunderstorms. Outside of the storms, we're going to see that rain move through. Some small hail is a possibility too. All of this lasting through the evening and night into early Thursday morning, but then by later Thursday, we should start to dry out a little bit. Small chance of a sprinkle for some southern communities on Friday, but overall, I think it's going to be really today into early tomorrow where we have that window for some rain. Hail is a possibility, small hail for sure. Winds up to 60 miles per hour, and then if you get stuck under one of those thunderstorms, that rain's going to come down pretty heavy and pretty quick. The one good news that the rain will do, and not just the rain, but the cold front, it's going to kick the smoke out of here. So here's the smoke model showing that after a few days of some hazy sunshine, that smoke is going to exit the region as the cold front arrives. And it is a heck of a cold front. Take a look at some of these numbers from Mount Clemens, Monroe, and Detroit in the 80s. And those 60s on the back side of the front. Right along the front, you've got those 70s. And we're going to settle into some cooler air, no question about that, as we head into the hours tomorrow. We'll go from today's high temperature of nearly 80 degrees down into the 60s as we head into and through tomorrow afternoon. So there you go. It's going to be a decreasing temperature kind of day as that front passes along. You'll notice from 5 o'clock, 77, down to 69 by 10 p.m. tonight. Some of those storms could get to severe status, mostly due to the wind threat of 60 miles per hour. But outside of that, it's going to be the wind and the heavy downpours that are the real things to watch for. 62 degrees out there tonight. Still some rain lingering. That rain lingers actually into early Thursday morning, so some early showers continue. We'll go to 68. 77 on Friday. We're back to near normal heading into the weekend. And the weekend looks good. Now, Sunday we'll see some later showers, but those showers do arrive late, like after 8 p.m., so the majority of the weekend looking A-OK.
All right. Thank you, Derek. Well, one woman is making her mark on the community. This is super cool. She wants to help entrepreneurs achieve 6 to 8 figure incomes. That's well into the millions, I believe. How she plans to make it happen and how you can take part coming up. Well, welcome back. This is pretty cool. This serial entrepreneur. Honestly, she's a bunch of things. She's an author, wellness coach, executive producer, so many things. She's wanting to help entrepreneurs achieve 6 to 8 figure incomes. And her name is DJ Self. She is sitting with us live in our streaming studio.
Yes.
DJ, welcome to the show. I hear you are a force to reckon with.
Oh my, yeah, and it wasn't always like this, you know. It didn't. I wish I could have been wandered into this seat that I'm in right now. Definitely had to put in a lot of work and had to learn a lot. Had to invest in my education and be actionable with it, because some people learn so much and then they take it and do nothing with it and then start blaming everybody. But anyway, that's a different conversation.
So let's talk a little bit about what you do. Tell us a little bit.
So I build 6 to 8 figure earners in the income tax industry mainly. I scale 6 to 8 figure earners. And I can take you from any industry and scale you to 6 to 8 figures with this proven blueprint that I have that scaled me in the income tax industry. And then I then took that same platform, and I'm also a nurse, and I'm in the nursing industry. The technical training program that I have, I've scaled to 33 locations. I have 215 partnerships with the income tax industry where I've scaled 6 to 8 figure earners. And so I take them and I help them build a corporation. And so I take a regular person, an average person, and I can make them a corporate entity. And I've been successful in doing that. This year alone, in a year, we only at the halfway mark. I've built 7 millionaires already, and I've built hundreds of 6 figure earners. Too many to count.
So let's talk about it. You got this blueprint that is transferable to different industries and whatnot.
Yes.
You said so far you've already built 7 millionaires this year alone.
This year alone.
What are these people doing? What do you got to do? Tell us a little bit about this blueprint.
So we have a blueprint where we teach them power of partnerships, franchise mastery. We teach them artificial intelligence and marketing strategies, and we give them a step-by-step business in the box. And if they follow this blueprint, they get 100% of the result. But they have to put 100% of action into it as well. But we've been successful in scaling 7 millionaires this year alone and hundreds of 6-figure earners.
So what does that mean? Got to put in the work and whatnot. Does that mean that we have to do this full time? Can we do this part time? Can we do this after our day job? What do we have to do?
You can do it after your day job. You can do it part time. In fact, the 20 million that we just generated in a little over 60 days was done in a little over 60 days. So
wow.
In preparation for it, we teach you how to do things and put it in automation so it doesn't take your time at all. In fact,
20 million in 60 days.
In 60 days, yes.
And
as
that's
a corporation.
with this blueprint.
With this blueprint.
So what kind of services?
We have support services. So we have a team of admin that if you can't make it to a meeting, your team can. If they can't make it, then we've recorded it. So then you can. So we've removed all the barriers out of the way for people to be successful, and they have to be actionable. So just learning the information and or having the tools and not using them means nothing. Like faith without works is dead. Okay, no action, no revenue, no blueprint, no money. And so we have a blueprint, and it definitely works.
So is this all through one stream of income? I hear all the time, you got to have multiple streams of income if you want to be a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. Is this all from one stream?
I have several streams of income, and most of them that I have make at least $500,000. This industry with the income taxes has generated this 20 million, and what we do is take and we use it as a vehicle to be able to invest in other avenue. But this industry alone, yes, it makes the millions of dollars.
So it's solely the blueprint. What about habits? I've heard things about, if you make your bed first thing in the morning, you're more likely to be a millionaire, little things like that. Does that play a part?
It plays a part. So our blueprint is a system. On Mondays, we have Mastery Mindset Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
We actually even have a prayer line. We praying about this every day. It's so many different steps and so many different avenues that is used to get them there that accompany this blueprint. And so we do have a step-by-step approach of telling them what they should be doing daily, what their habits should look like. We give them the blueprint. This is what you need to do. And so there's a strategy that goes along with it. And if they follow this strategy, they are definitely having the results.
All right, DJ, Miss Self, tell us how we can connect with you.
You can connect with me by on the socials on Facebook. There's my name, DJ HONIA Self on Facebook. On Instagram, it's at The Real DJ Self. And TikTok is my first and last name, Jeanne Self. And so you guys can connect with me. You can follow me and see, what I'm doing and how this can benefit you and to making generational wealth for you and your family, because that's what we're building.
Yeah, I definitely will be inquiring.
Yes.
DJ, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, well, it's been a while, so we're going to do a stock market check with our good friend Jason Brown. He's joining us live in the studio after this 2.5-minute break. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live. You know what we're looking at. This is downtown Detroit. All those nice, beautiful buildings. 84 degrees outside. All right, well, President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill has passed the U.S. House and is now facing an uncertain future in the Senate as Republicans and Democrats have voiced various objections. Now, even Elon Musk is calling this bill a bad idea. Here's Fox's Doug Luzader with the latest.
Well, this is going to make it even more difficult to get that massive tax cut and spending bill through Congress, and it may drive a big wedge between President Trump and Elon Musk.
Well, I expect to continue to provide advice whenever the president would like advice. I hope so.
Just last week in the Oval Office, President Trump said he welcomed Elon Musk's continuing advice. Now, perhaps not so much. Posting on X, Musk just slammed Trump's big, beautiful bill. "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore," he wrote. "This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination."
I agree with Elon Musk.
Democrats in Congress were thrilled, happy to hammer the wedge between Musk and Trump over the big tax cut and spending bill making its way through Congress. In reality, Musk wants less government spending, and Democrats generally want more. But Musk's criticism resonates with fiscal conservatives who worry about piling on to the national debt.
They're planning on spending $5 trillion they don't have, and I'm just not for that.
And the White House says Musk's opposition won't stop the president.
Look, the president already knows where Elon Musk stood on this bill. It doesn't change the president's opinion. This is one big, beautiful bill, and he's sticking to it.
And from Musk, perhaps a warning to Republicans in the House who have already pushed through the bill. "Shame on those who voted for it," he wrote. "You know you did wrong. You know it." And while Musk has said he would spend less time in politics, he could still play a big role in next year's midterm elections. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Well, the University of Florida says no to Ono. Santa Ono does not get the job as university president. He recently quit that role with the University of Michigan. Now, last month, the Board of Trustees at Florida approved him, but now the Board of Governors is blocking him. They're responding to recent pressure by prominent conservatives citing DEI programs, pro-Palestinian protests, and the climate change efforts during Ono's tenure at Ann Arbor. One board member says the philosophical differences were too far apart. Well, new in health work, self-employment can be a healthier way to earn a living, especially for women. A study published in BMC Public Health analyzed data from more than 19,000 working adults who participated in the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. The survey included a physical exam and questions about lifestyle and employment. Researchers found female entrepreneurs of all races have lower rates of obesity, poor sleep health, and physical inactivity. White men saw a decline in poor diet and high blood pressure. The same could be said for men of color. Scientists say they appear to face more challenges starting a business, like less access to financial support and entry barriers. And I know just the person to ask about this because he is a small business owner doing his thing out and about. His name is Jason Brown. What do you think about that, Jason?
I think it's interesting that they talked about the employment because that's what data is coming out this week. But
Yeah.
I definitely believe that it's harder for people of color to get in the business world. So we got to take care of our health. We got to take care of ourselves.
We do. And you are helping us do that with the stock market, keeping our eyes, keeping us keen and sharp on everything happening in the stock market with our investments. But it's been pretty quiet lately. What's happening?
So ever since we got a delay or at least a 90-day pause with the tariffs with all the countries, but more importantly, China, and then everything sitting at pretty much 10%, the market rallied back up. And now it's just sitting still because there's no new news to make it move up or down. And I think the good news is the Dow Jones is about 3,000 points away from its all-time high. The S&P 500 is a couple hundred away from its all-time high, which means if you looked at your portfolio a month, 2 months ago, and you were a little bit down, you're back to normal. And I think it's a good time to start thinking about looking at your portfolio and possibly rebalancing things.
So we got a couple things that are coming up, a couple dates we want to look at. Specifically, Friday, that's June 6th, we have the May economic report. Do you think that that's going to be the news we need to start seeing some shifts in the market?
So Thursday we have the jobs report, and then your Friday we have the May employment economic report. I don't think either of those are going to be market moving, but next week we have the University of Michigan consumer confidence report, and that is something that the Fed somewhat pays attention to see how are consumers feeling about their money, their investments, but the bank accounts balances that they have, and that typically plays into how they make a decision to cut interest rates or not. Not that they're only going to use that as a decision, but it's a data point that they do look at of how consumers are feeling.
Now, you mentioned a couple index funds, S&P 500, NASDAQ, but what are some other stocks that we should be looking into right now? I know AI is booming, but I don't necessarily know if that means we should be watching that stock.
So AI is like we're living through the invention of computers right now. So we're going through a transformation in the technology industry. So you definitely should be paying attention to AI. And if you don't have any specific AI stocks on the radar, I talked about this one before, Avago or Broadcom, the ticker symbol is AVGO, so we say Avago sometimes. Broadcom makes the computer chips and servers for some of the companies that need to process AI. That's one that should be on everyone's radar. It's hitting all new 52-week highs. Elon Musk recently just ended his 6-month stretch with the special agent for the government. So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with Tesla as he can put 100% of his focus back on there. And then next week, Apple's going to be at the Worldwide Developer Conference sharing with us what's coming out. Hopefully, we're going to hear something about AI and how it's going to impact their devices because they haven't really made a big splash in the AI market with the computers or the devices so far. And I think that's going to be key if the stock is in the move or not.
Now, when it comes to like things that are trending and whatnot, new inventions that are coming out, are those necessarily stocks that we should be watching? Or should that just be something, hey, this is cool and this is new? Is that something we should necessarily be investing in?
So that's a great question. I think most people don't know how to process something that's a fad versus something that is here to stay and happen a transformational shift. And I think you want to ask yourself, is this something that's just short term going to be around, or is this something that people can do long term? For example, electric vehicles. This is going to be around for long term. AI, this is going to be around for long term. We're not going back to not asking ChatGPT, not asking Claude or Gemini, whatever platform. So then the next thing I think you want to do is ask yourself, well, it's kind of like the gold rush. There's people that went to go get gold, but then there's people that said they're going to need picks, they're going to need shovels, they're going to need bottled water. Same thing with AI. You're going to say, okay, people are using it, but who's making the servers? Who's making the chips? Who's making the copper that's going into it? If you start to ask those questions, you can start to devise a plan of where your money should go and where it should go for the long term.
One thing I love about talking to you, Jason, is I always learn something every single time, it never fails. And our viewers could actually have an opportunity, or you're giving folks the opportunity to be able to do this live workshop, stocks and whatnot. Tell us about it for real quick.
Yeah, so that's one of my goals, is to always bring value and make it so that regular people can understand how the market works. This June 9th and 10th, we're doing a 2-day live stocks and options workshop in Shelby Township at Cambria Hotel. We'll be there from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. breaking down how the stock market works, how options work, and how you can take control of your finances. And they can check out the link to that at powertradesuniversity.com.
And there's still tickets available. All of that, is it free?
There's a few seats available. Tickets range anywhere from $4.99 up to $6.99.
$4.99, like $4.99, or $499?
$499. We're going to be providing breakfast. We're going to be providing lunch, and we also have a fun event planned in the, towards the end of the day, where we're going to go over to 5-Iron Golf, network, mingle, have some fun. Then we're going to come back and learn some more. So it's going to be a fun event, a great learning event, and some great networking.
And it's 2 days, right?
Just 2 days.
2 days. Tell us one more time the website.
They can go to powertradesuniversity.com.
Powertradesuniversity.com. Jason, always good to talk to you.
Prix, always good to see you.
Works, I am outside checking the air quality index, which is a little bit at risk because of wildfires in Canada, sending some smoke and particles into our skies. Now, the Weather Authority is tracking the AQI, as it's called, but it can change. It varies on a lot of things, including which way the wind blows.
Air quality index can change as quickly as the weather. You've got pollen, smoke, and pollutants. So for adults or kids with allergies or asthma or respiratory issues, even if that AQI isn't at the unhealthy level, you want to pay attention for possible symptoms.
If we're starting to notice a runny nose, congestion, sore throat, or maybe a cough, you definitely want to really limit the time going outside. And if you have plans to go outside with those symptoms, I probably would hold off, at least until the pollen counts and the pollution counts seem to be better.
Cornwall health allergist Dr. Devon Doshi told me that even if you think the sky looks clear, remember these are microscopic particles. He says it's like smoking cigarettes.
It really is. You're introducing pollutants and particles that really shouldn't be there into the airway. The airway is a very sophisticated machine. It's picking up all these particles. A lot of these are going to get trapped. And as it gets trapped, it's going to cause local irritation in the airway. It's going to make us cough. We may get chest tightness. Some people get chest pain with it. So there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes and it may not be very evident very quickly.
As we wait to see what happens over the coming days, keep checking that AQI on your weather app.
And if that's in a danger zone, you should take it seriously, even if you don't have respiratory problems.
Absolutely, because it's giving you a warning that this is the particle levels that it's detecting and the quality of the air it's detecting. It also has to do with what we're doing outside. How much time do we spend? What are we doing outside? If we're exercising or going for brisk walks, obviously the amount of pollutants that we're going to inhale is higher than if we were just sitting outside.
There is a pretty big range on the AQI, all the way from good, then there's moderate, then there's unhealthy, and then there's hazardous. So it's a big range and it can change even from town to town. So keep a close eye on it. That's HealthWorks. I'm Dina Santafonte.
All right. Well, Dina was looking all nice and chill with her glasses, the wind blowing in her hair. But let's check in with Richard Litterman, see what's happening outside, because it is 84 degrees outside.
Yes.
But it's not looking so blue and sunny.
Yes, there's a cold front approaching quickly, and as a result, we have more clouds and haze. There have been some scattered showers so far today, but more concentrated showers and storms, Prix, come a little later on this evening. Let me show you what we're talking about with this cold front through the central Great Lakes. I mean, it's pretty easy to pick up. There's a band of showers from the thumb to the Canadian side of the St. Clair River, all the way back down to St. Louis, south of Chicago. That's the cold front we're talking about. And temperatures are going to fall off once that cold front eases through the area. Right now, not a lot of rain out there. Now, there have been a couple of spotty storms through Macomb and St. Clair counties. But really, for the next couple of hours, not a lot of action is expected. You can see that all the rain south of Chicago, that's going to sweep up into our area, especially after 7 o'clock. So here's a good look at Sky Tracker. I mean, there are one or two showers out there along the St. Clair River from Port Huron to Algonac, a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. There's one little shower just south of Pontiac. I can zoom in, and you can see this is not severe weather, but West Bloomfield, Birmingham, along Telegraph Road, north of 696, a brief heavy downpour. So that's going to be the story. Here are some live pictures from downtown. You can see it is not raining downtown. The Ren-Cen is in the background. Flags are flipping around pretty good with a southwest breeze. Now, in a few hours, that breeze is going to go to the north and east as that cold front eases through. And this map really shows that cold front. Look at Lansing, 64 degrees right now. 85 for us, 86 in Windsor. So over the next few hours, that front will get closer to us. And you'll know it when it slips through because the wind direction will change. Temperatures will drop a good 10 to 15 degrees with the passage of that front. 65 right now in Grand Rapids. So they're about 20 degrees cooler. 61 Chicago. You can see the green becoming the orange right over southern Michigan. That's that frontal boundary. Look at Columbus, 86. Toronto right now, 88 degrees. So the interesting thing is there's not a lot of push in the atmosphere with this front. So over the next couple of days, it just slides slowly off to the east. And that is why for tonight and for tomorrow morning, we're going to have some occasional showers, perhaps a rumble of thunder. The good thing, Bree, is we're not expecting severe weather. I think the biggest threat between tonight and tomorrow morning will be some brief heavy downpours. So maybe, a few spots to get a lot of water in a short amount of time. It's hard to pinpoint who exactly that might be, but there's a chance for that. The warmest of the air does move off to the east as that frontal boundary slides to the east. So the forecast for the rest of tonight, occasional showers and storms. Better chance will be later this evening through the overnight. Now tomorrow, a different kind of day. Cloudy, cooler, some morning showers likely. So tomorrow we're going to be down about 15 degrees. Still not a bad day tomorrow, but just cooler and cloudy with morning showers. The weekend, I'm happy to say, actually Friday, Saturday, Sunday is looking pretty nice with highs in the mid to upper 70s. More showers down the road on Monday. So we need some rain. We're going to get some rain, Bree. Look at it that way. We're going to get some rain tonight. The grass, the flowers, we need it.
Do we really need rain, though?
Yes, we do need rain. Rain is good.
I feel like we got enough last month.
No. We need rain like once a week for everything to be happy.
Oh.
There you go. Once a week rain.
Once a week rain. All right. Thanks,
I'll see you at the top of the hour. All right.
Well, a fugitive posting videos on social media asking President Trump for help. That's the latest development in the search for these inmates who escaped a prison in New Orleans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, one of the two remaining escapees from a jail in New Orleans put a few video posts on social media, and we want to show you one of them. Here it is.
So I'm asking for help from the world, from Donald Trump. I'm asking for these people. I couldn't even get a lawyer. I couldn't even afford a lawyer to prove my innocence while I was in Orleans Parish Jail. They say that I broke out. I didn't break out. I was let out. My name is Antoine Massey.
Now, police went to the home where they think it all came from, but they didn't find Antoine Massey. But they did find clothes they believe he wore while filming. Now, in the videos, Massey requests the help from rappers Lil Wayne and Meek Mill. Not quite sure what they would do. Also, he asked for help from President Trump. Now, Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan Hudson responded, urging Massey to turn himself in. In addition to President Trump, Massey also asked for help from those rappers and NBA YoungBoy. He claimed the domestic abuse battery charge that kept him in jail was based on a false report from a jealous girlfriend. This was Massey's fifth escape. If you include his two times that he cut off ankle monitors. He was caught in Texas after an escape in 2019. Authorities since have recaptured 8 of the escapees and arrested more than a dozen people accused of helping these group of men. Now, there is a $50,000 reward for tips leading to the capture of Groves, that's one of the guys that's left, and Massey, this guy right here you see on your screen. Well, a big coaching shakeup in the NBA. The Knicks have fired their head coach, Tom Thibodeau. This firing comes despite the team advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. In 5 seasons, he took the Knicks to the playoffs 4 times. Wow. So out of the 5 seasons, 4 times they went. I mean, that seems like a pretty good record. I'm wondering why he was let go from the team. Let's ask Woody Woodruff his thoughts. Let's ask Woody
I'll tell you right off.
What?
He got fired because the Knicks expected him to do more with what he had. Now, granted, he was a guy who got a lot out of the players on his roster. I mean, he only played like 6 guys off the entire team.
Really?
So, yeah. So a lot of the starters had to go big minutes, but he didn't have much of a bench. And that's part of the reason why I think the Knicks may have lost. But anyway, yeah, they're thinking that they need another guy to get over the hump and get a championship back into New York. So I'll be eager to see. I'll be eager to see who they bring in next. That's always the question. It's not who you let go, it's who you bring in next. Who is the next guy? And right now we don't know.
Because he was trying to do more with less.
Well, yeah.
Isn't that any corporation's dream?
Well, that's any coach's job. Let's be honest. I mean, you coach the team that you're given by the general manager, and the Knicks are a pretty good team. I mean, they've got a couple of stars on there: Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. We saw those guys when they beat the Pistons. But let's be honest. Nowadays, players can have an input on who the coach may be. So if there's maybe a little love lost somewhere, perhaps that worked against him. We'll never know.
We might know.
Wow.
It might come out.
It might come out. We'll see. We'll see. You know what? Speaking of basketball coaches, I would love to see Pistons coach JB Bickerstaff get back in Detroit. Right now, he's doing this like analyst thing on some of the national shows. I see him every morning talking about basketball. Come on back, JB. We need you here getting the Pistons ready for next season, okay? We can put that stuff on hold.
Hopefully someone doesn't try to swipe him up.
No. He's under contract, but still, I want him focused on the Detroit Pistons and not all the other teams.
There's nothing to focus on.
What?
There's nothing to focus on.
There's plenty to focus on. You got to get better, right?
They just wrapped up the season.
Look,
so
you know
like,
what?
hey,
If you're not trying, if you're not getting better, you're not trying. So, let's go. Put your nose to the grindstone. Do everything you can, whenever you can, for this team to get better.
Coming from the guy who just took 2 weeks of vacation.
Hey, don't worry about me, okay? Do as I say, not as I do.
All right. Whatever. We gotta get to the next topic. We only have.
So you want to talk about the Tigers?
We only have a couple minutes. Yeah.
All right, Tigers. Hey, look, tonight, Tigers trying to get back on track after losing to the lowly White Sox last night. It was ugly, 8-1. Yes, I know.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding, and it wasn't fun. But you know what can be fun? If the Tigers win tonight, Sawyer Gipson-Long getting the start, his first start in like 2 years after elbow surgery and a hip issue. So we'll see if he's ready to go tonight. Although the Tigers brass are saying that he is ready. He pitched 5 1/3 innings down in Toledo last time out in his rehab start, struck out 5 and only walked 1. So let's hope the Tigers get right back on the beam tonight in the AL Central by taking on the White Sox.
The White Sox took him out yesterday. Disappointing. But,
it was disappointing, But you know what's not disappointing? This time of year with the Lions, okay? Yeah. Everybody was talking about how Frank Ragnow's retirement is a big deal, and oh my goodness, the team is going to suffer. Okay, is it a loss? Yes, it's a loss. But is it one that the team wasn't prepared for? I don't think so. I think Frank Ragnow has been very upfront with the Lions and his injury situation. I mean, the guy played with a fractured throat for a while. A guy played with, a dead toe for a while. So, to see him call it quits is not a surprise. But, there's still plenty of time for this team, and they still have guys on the offensive line. The offensive line could still be considered the tip of the offensive spear for the Lions because it still has Penei Sewell, still has Taylor Decker, it has Graham Glasgow, who filled in admirably when they kept going. And it's, got a few rookies ready to go, like the kid they drafted from Georgia, Tate Ratledge. So we'll see if Dan Campbell and the boys can put together a solid offensive line. I think maybe the unheralded guy would be Hank Fraley, the offensive line coach. He has remained in place, so there's continuity there.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm really excited about coming up in the next couple months is for the football season to kick off officially. It's
going to be a week earlier for the Lions because they're playing in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, the baseball and whatnot. I'm not a big baseball fan.
I'll tell AJ Hinch you said that. The Tigers manager will be interested to talk to you after he hears those comments. Yeah, he could be watching right now. And you know what? He's probably saying, hey, Woody, why don't you get to the NHL?
Now, No, listen. I did not say that I wasn't a Tigers fan. I said I'm not a baseball fan. So we have that. Okay, what do you want to say about?
Are you a hockey fan?
I'm not. It's not at the top.
Well, we
of
got to
my
wrap it up. It's Panthers and Oilers tonight, rematch of last year's Stanley Cup, Game 1. Of course, we'll have highlights.
All right. Thanks, Woody.
Sure.
All right. I am out of here. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us here on Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4. It is Wednesday, June 4th. Let's get into your news of the day.
Live from the Fox 2 newsroom, this is Fox 2 Detroit.
An investigation is underway in Macomb County after an officer-involved shooting left a man dead. Police say it all started with a traffic stop. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch has more on the investigation.
Shots fired, one down. He's armed with a gun, not moving now.
This is the call heard over the police radio in the moments following the gunfire. A 41-year-old man shot and killed by a Shelby Township police officer when we are told the Troy man pointed a weapon at him. This man had a front row seat to the aftermath.
It was right in my front yard. I could, I think, see what the crime scene was, right from my front yard.
This all happened right around 3:15 on Tuesday afternoon near 22 Mile in Van Dyke. That's where a Shelby Township police officer pulled over this white caravan close to the Hot Spot coffee shop. But instead of handing over his license and registration, the man hightailed it. So the officer ran after him.
I don't know what's going on in the world that's causing things like this to happen.
According to police, at some point during the foot chase, the officer took out his taser and the 41-year-old took out a gun. The Shelby Township officer then repeatedly told him to drop it. When the Troy man refused, the officer fired.
OIS, officers are 10-4.
People don't understand. Stop. Listen to what you're being told. It's got to stop somewhere.
Police have not yet identified the driver who was killed or said why he was stopped in the first place. That, of course, all part of the investigation into the officer-involved shooting, a situation that was clearly too close for comfort for many.
It's something you just see on the news, you know. You don't think it's going to happen in Shelby Township. You don't think it's going to happen near your home.
Now, the officer involved in the shooting is on administrative leave, and that is standard procedure in situations like this. It is also standard procedure to have an outside agency take a look at this, and that's exactly what the Macomb County Sheriff's Office is doing right now. The investigation has been turned over to them. We'll, of course, keep you posted if there are any updates, both on air as well as online. Reporting for Fox 2 News, I'm Robin Murdoch.
Oh, several people taken into custody today after an officer witnessed a man being approached by a group of armed people and pistol whipped on a porch. It happened after some sort of an argument this morning near Grand River in Provost. Police say the officer, who was already in the area on an unrelated investigation, saw the whole thing and called for backup. Investigators say some of the suspects then went inside and refused to come out. One left the scene and was later arrested at a nearby Coney Island. Eventually, all were taken into custody. As for that victim, he was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Police are now looking into what led up to the assault, but say that first officer's actions today likely prevented a shooting. Oh, it's case dismissed for a state trooper accused of murder, and now the victim's family is speaking out.
With this car? I have no idea. Correct. Against the wall? This is correct, yes. Okay.
Brian Keeley was accused of hitting Samuel Sterling with an unmarked vehicle last year in the city of Kenwood near Grand Rapids. Keeley was trying to arrest Sterling on several warrants. Sterling later died from his injuries, though. Last week, a judge dismissed the case, and Sterling's loved ones are now demanding justice.
It was just unbelievable to me.
Because that's something that a parent should never have to teach their kid, to watch out for the law.
The officers are trained to run after him and take him into custody without running him over with a car. That's not justice.
Well, Fox 2 reached out to the attorney representing Brian Keeley. They didn't want to go on camera, but did release a statement to us. That statement saying, "We are grateful the court recognized this case for what it truly was, a law enforcement officer doing his job in a high-risk encounter with a known fugitive," end quote. Keeley still faces 2 civil lawsuits, including one in federal court. Oh, it is a viral challenge sweeping the country right now, and it's made its way right here to Metro Detroit.
Cameras, it's not hard to figure it out. We got to find something more productive. We played games as kids, but we didn't put our lives in danger like that.
Over the weekend, police in Van Buren Township received 2 different reports of teenagers running up to people's front doors, kicking them, then running away. While it's supposed to be a prank, officers say it's actually a felony, which can carry some prison time. There's also concern an angry homeowner could seek revenge and someone could get seriously hurt or worse.
Immediately thought, like, okay, it's got to be, this is unsafe. Like, in this culture, in this world today, you can't go around playing like that. We can't all keep donating to GoFundMe's when these young people are not handling their business and doing the right thing, and you're going to kick in the wrong door.
Anyone with information on these cases is asked to call Van Buren Township Police. A lot of outrage from neighbors happening in Macomb Township when it comes to a proposed Sheetz gas station.
You have 1,000 residents that are refusing this.
Mr. Jawad, would you like to leave the meeting?
No, I'm not.
You're invited to leave. We have sheriffs here to escort you. What are you guys doing? You want to scream and yell? You're out of order.
Shut your mouth, piece of.
One man ended up being removed from last night's planning commission meeting. Sheetz did get approval to redevelop an old CVS at 23 Mile and North Avenue.
It's pretty good. It's a nice place to come get something to eat. It's very convenient, you know. I would tell anyone to come try it.
Everybody drive in front of the gas station. You can hear the loudspeaker and the noise, and you don't need 3 gas stations on that corner.
The board's approval came with a few conditions here. Sheetz will have to find a way to control light pollution and worries over proper drainage. Well, Kron Gym making a big announcement that it's returning to Detroit. We have Brandon Hudson joining us now after attending today's press conference. And Brandon, this is an iconic boxing institution here.
Yeah, so it's produced a lot of well-known boxers, a lot of trainers, Hall of Fame trainers, one being Emmanuel Stewart, who helped out, Lennox Lewis, Vladimir Klitschko, a lot of other names, Tommy Hearns. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But this was down at the Brewster Wheeler Recreation Center near downtown Detroit. So we saw some of the former boxers, some new boxers. We saw city leaders like the mayor, city council president, chief of police, Wayne County Sheriff. They were all on hand to join us at this announcement today. So there's still a lot of construction left. They really haven't built a gym or speed bags or anything yet, but this was a big announcement today, and it brought out a lot of big names and a lot of people who know about Kron Gym and are excited for its return back to Detroit.
Nice to see this comeback here. Do we know why it left the city in the first place, though?
So there was a flood. So it was a flood in 2006. And I want to backtrack here. So the original Kron Gym opened in 1921, and it had been there for decades, for generations. And then a flood forced it to close in 2006. It moved to Westland, I think Dearborn as well. So it had some temporary homes, but now it is returning back to Detroit. And as you see, the guy on the far left in the blue shirt, or on the far side of the screen. Now he's walking over to the mayor to give him one of the honorary Kronk jackets. That's Paul Body. He's the CEO. He was able to buy the brand name for Kronk, and he knows about the history that Kronk has, and so he's excited to bring this back. John Lepak, who's also over there in the black shirt, he grew up going to the original Kronk, and now he's the COO. Paul Body is the CEO. And you see the mayor and police chief and their honorary jackets there. So they're helping Kronk get back here. And I believe it's supposed to be opening at the end of summer. So late August, early September.
Nice.
We're going to be back when it opens. But this was a fun day and a lot of smiles on people's faces for the return of this gym.
Yeah, and I mean, nice to see this happening nearly 20 years later.
Yeah.
It took for them to come back to the city. So I know a lot of people are excited about this. And I got to say, Mayor Mike Duggan, he looked good in that jacket. I want one of those jackets. That was a nice looking jacket.
One more thing before I go. So at the basement of that gym is it's a board, and it used to be the ring where Joe Louis trained.
Really?
So I got video of it on my phone. I wasn't weren't able we weren't really supposed to be down there to begin with. But so that kind of gives you the history of not only Kronk Gym, but the history of the Brewster Wheeler Recreation Center. That is where Joe Louis trained, in the basement, and they still have something there to remember him by.
Man, that is so cool. I love that so much. Can't wait to see your story tonight, Brandon. We are looking forward to it. Thank you
so much.
Of course. Well, Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4 just getting started. Smoke from the massive wildfires burning in Canada continues to drift down over Michigan. The impact it can have on our bodies and the best way to protect ourselves. Coming up, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4. Your time right now, 2:12, as we take this live look out over a very cloudy Detroit. It's also kind of humid out there, too. Very hazy from those Canada wildfires. 83 degrees out there. Well, hurricane season is back, but for parts of Florida, it feels like the 2024 season never ended. 2 hurricanes, weeks apart, and now more than 8 months later, businesses are keeping an eye on the forecast as they recover financially and get ready for summer. Fox's Sarah Allegre is live in Madeira Beach, Florida. And Sarah, what are people there up against right now?
Well, some places they're recovering, but that didn't happen overnight. Some are still in the process here. And I want to talk about tourism here in Pinellas County. It plays a very big role. This is one of the areas in Florida that was hit the hardest during both Hurricane Helene, then Hurricane Milton, which hit just a few weeks later. Now, the locals I talked here, the business owners I talked to as well, say they need to keep that tourism momentum going, especially as we enter into the summer season.
Looking at the devastation along Johns Pass, it was heartbreaking and it was heart-wrenching.
But the boats are back on the water, the tours are running, and this marina, well, it's good as new.
The only way to handle it is to just keep putting momentum, one foot in front of the other.
Last fall, it was a different story for Captain Dylan Hubbard. He owns Hubbard's Marina in Madeira Beach and took a 1-2 punch, first from Helene in late September, then Milton a couple weeks later.
We were able to open up and start running trips just 5 days after Helene. And we were all feeling so good and happy, like, hey, we did it. And then here comes Milton.
The storms wiped out his dock and shut down business, but only for a short time.
I was really motivated, and we were really motivated as a Hubbard's Marina family to get back open quickly so we could get those people back to work, get their minds off what they went through, and then help them make financial income to then recover.
For Clear Sky Cafe in Clearwater, Florida, cleanup wasn't as fast. Its doors were closed for nearly 5 months.
Not only do I work on this beach, I live on this beach.
Team Money, as her staff calls her, has worked here for nearly 2 decades. The damage from Hurricane Helene was unlike anything she's seen. But now, they're back.
Everything in here is new, from the walls to the floor.
Still, nerves are frayed now that hurricane season's here again.
Yes, the area received complete, utter devastation and tragedy, but we are recovering.
Captain Dylan also sits on Pinellas County's Tourism Development Council. He says businesses here are counting on visitors coming back this summer.
We need the economic recovery to help boost up the residential recovery and help people get back to work, make money, and help them recover personally as well.
Yeah, and thousands of people are still waiting on those insurance claims. I mean, we're seeing this backlog and this holdup essentially for a lot of these residents. So that's a whole other side of this story as well. I talked to several today. We're going to bring that story to our viewers tomorrow as well. And again, as they are still working on mending this immense damage, a lot of them have cleaned up that debris, still waiting on those permits as they move forward. But then again, hurricane season is here, and the thick of it really is just around the corner. In Madeira Beach, Florida, Sarah Allegre, Fox 2 News.
And Sarah, really quickly, as they're waiting for those claims, those insurance claims, any word on when they can expect that to go through?
It all depends on your circumstances. Again, I feel like I was reporting on a similar story when I was in Altadena, California, talking about the wildfire coverage. Same story for a lot of these residents here. When we can look at Katrina as an example, it took some people about 15 years to get some of those insurance claims. So we expect this to be a very long, drawn-out process, and it depends on where you are. Pinellas County is a very big stretch of land, governed by different townships as well. And so depending on each different town, there's different codes, and that's kind of where we're seeing the backlog as folks move forward. I did talk to a resident, though. They have removed the debris from their land, and they are going to get that permit to rebuild within the next couple of months. So depending on your situation, some people are still seeing some optimism and at least taking a small step forward.
Yeah, hopefully people stay optimistic and get that relief sooner than later. Sarah, thank you. Oh, here at home, as wildfires burn in Canada, the air quality is becoming a major concern now in Metro Detroit. There's dirt in the air, Canadian smoke drifting over the northern United States. And right now, more than 200 fires are burning. Around 100 of them are considered out of control. And we're breathing the effects of it. Particles in the air making for a potentially dangerous situation for some. And according to the air quality tracking site IQ Air, Detroit currently has the 10th worst air of any city on Earth. We are right on the threshold of being in the unhealthy range for sensitive groups of people. And you might remember what it was like 2 summers ago when Canadian wildfires created air quality problems for Michigan and millions of others across the country. But we are learning this time. So far, it's not nearly as bad as it was in 2023. Weatherman Rich Luderman joining us now with more on the forecast. At least it's not as bad as 2023. I remember that. I remember the smoke was thicker.
Yes.
That haze that we're seeing now, it is off-putting to see, but it was even crazier a couple years ago.
There were times when we smelled it last summer than 2 summers ago. Thankfully, we're getting some rain tonight and tomorrow morning, and that's going to help to cleanse the atmosphere. It's going to wash some of the stuff out of the air, including the pollen. If you have seasonal allergies, you're feeling it, because yesterday and again today, the pollen counts were rather high, but that'll change as well. So we have this cold front draped over the central Great Lakes, and you can see there are clusters of showers and storms along it. One cluster is up there over north. Well, let me say this right. Over central Lake Huron, north of Port Huron, you can see that cluster there edging into the Ontario side of Lake Huron. The other cluster is south of Chicago. That's heading up into northern Indiana. That's what's going to come our way later on this evening. So there are some scattered showers out there, but we will get more widespread rain late tonight through the overnight into your Thursday morning. You can see clusters of showers and storms. The good thing is, Jamie, we're not expecting widespread severe weather. I mean, there could be 1 or 2 stronger storms with some gusty winds, some heavy downpours, but we're not expecting watches and warnings, any of that stuff for us. Notice on Sky Tracker, things are becoming a bit more active. You can see there are some showers north of Anchor Bay. There are some showers, perhaps a rumble of thunder near Jackson. We can zoom in even further and take a little tour. Notice a few heavy downpours near Mount Clemens. There's Chesterfield Township. There's New Baltimore, Macomb Township. Again, this is just some brief heavy downpours as it moves pretty quickly off to the north and east. Let's go back to the west. There's a few showers approaching Jackson into Lenawee County as well. So the further we get into the evening hours, the more rain we're going to see. Right now, over downtown, not a whole lot happening. It's breezy, it's warm. We have numbers in the middle 80s in spots, 85 degrees over at City Airport. Now, this is an interesting map. It's pretty easy to see that cold front. Look at Lansing right now. They're at 63 degrees. So 85 at City Airport, 63 in Lansing, where that green shade is to our west. That's that cold frontal boundary. They will be sliding across the area as the winds change from southwest to northeast. Look at that, 64 right now in Grand Rapids. Up at the tip of the thumb, Bad Axe, 60 degrees. So there's that front from central Quebec down across southern Michigan all the way south. Look at Chicago, 61 degrees, much cooler there today. So here's that boundary. Watch what happens. It slowly sags to the south and east over the next 12 to 18 hours. And that's why once we get rid of the rain tomorrow morning, most of Thursday afternoon and Friday and Saturday and Sunday are going to be dry, just not as warm. Another chance for some wet weather down the road Sunday evening. Let's show you it all in the forecast. For the rest of tonight, occasional showers and storms. Severe weather not expected, but some localized heavy downpours a possibility. For tomorrow, a different kind of day. Cloudy, cooler, morning showers likely Thursday with a high of only 70. That means we're going to be down about 15 degrees tomorrow. And then Friday is good. Saturday is good. Sunday is actually good. Sunday evening, there'll be some showers into Monday morning. But if you like the heat and the humidity, today's the day, Jamie, because in the next week or so, we don't see a return of that kind of action.
Oh, man, yeah. I like the heat, not so much the humidity.
There you go. It's only June. We got time. We got plenty of time.
Now, as for the rain, if someone forgot to water their flowers the last couple days, are they clear
They're
today
clear.
since it's going to rain?
I would say area-wide, we may get between a half an inch and a full inch of
All right,
rainfall.
so we'll get a good amount.
Tonight and tomorrow.
All right.
So, yes, the grass and the flowers are going to be happy.
Less work for me.
There you go.
Thank you, Rich.
Thanks, Jamie.
Well, coming up, one Metro Detroit man hopes the right person sees this billboard so he can get a kidney. We'll have that story and much more coming up next on Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4. A school in Metro Detroit helping care for kids with autism. Dave Spencer has been covering the story and joins us now with more. And Dave, they're really going above and beyond for these students here.
Yeah, they are. This is a great story. I had a great time. So I was invited to be on a podcast. It's called Mixing Up with Mixter. I got the QR code. You were scanning it. It works.
It works.
We found out it does work. So all you people at home, I'll just sit like this for the rest of the...
Test. Get your camera.
Just take my word for it. It works. They gave me this shirt. They had me as a guest on this Mixing It Up with Mixter podcast. They made me some art to take with me.
Oh my gosh,
These
that's so
are
cool.
adults ages 18 to 26 with autism, and they're part of this school called the Mixter Institute, which is right in Lincoln Park, and it's dedicated to making sure that these students are career ready when they graduate. You know, only about 25% of those with autism actually hold down a job for 10 years or more. Mm-hmm. They're trying to break that trend by getting them some skills. And one of the biggest obstacles they found is just a lack of socialization. So this podcast and the fact that they are putting it all together, they craft all the questions, they interview people like myself and other people in the community that they invite on, and then they put the podcast, they edit it together. You see them there holding up kind of prompts to carry on conversations with the special education teacher, Carrie Thomas, who's featured in this report. But it's really remarkable what's being done at this school and how in 6 years this thing has grown. Wow. You scan the QR code, it takes you right to their Spotify podcast that they upload. I'm telling you, they do it all. And it's like a 40 to 40 minute show that they do, and they fire off questions, some hard-hitting questions. We get into it on in the story that'll air at 5:30. But all of this is really to just enhance their communication skills, get them ready so they can be independent. That's all anybody wants. They want to follow their passion, be independent, carve out a little slice of life for themselves, and they're no different, of course. So this class that they're taking, I'm telling you, people are lined up to take the class when they're at this school. I had the best time. I spent a good half day there being interviewed. And when that podcast is up, I'll be sure to share that with you because it's not up just yet. I was there last week, so they're putting it together. But had a wonderful time being in the hot seat, being interviewed by these students. And so I got to do a little feature on them as well. They agreed to do that. And then they gave me a tour of the school. You see that. And they do so much more there. They learn home economics, how to cook and clean and everything else like that. And then they have this partnership with some of the local hospitals in the area. So they could kind of get them on a career path, at least get them started so they can earn a living for themselves. And this podcast goes a long way towards it. And just a point of pride, right? They get to have something at the end of the day that they can look to, push play, tell their friends, tell their parents, and that's another thing, the families that have gained so much from this as well.
Oh, I love that.
It's a cool story. It's one I had a lot of fun doing. I was very honored to be a part of it, and I told them I'd wear the shirt.
Yes, you're rocking that shirt, Dave.
Yeah. So
love that.
Pretty cool stuff.
It's very cool, and I mean, they have more than 20 podcast episodes. I'm trying to scroll through and count them all, but there's so many.
Week. They do 2 times a week. They've done over 100. It's pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of work. This is not easy. Doing a podcast twice a week.
Yeah.
And then they have all these students that are participating in this, and one by one they come in, they ask their round of questions, and they make sure that they don't overlap questions. A lot of thought and process and goes into it, and it all is communication based.
Yeah.
And that's so key. I mean, really, obviously, just if you want to hold down a job, you got to be able to communicate clearly, and that's the skills that they're learning right there at the Mixter Institute. Really cool. You got to check out the Mixter Institute and all the things, the good work that they're doing there. I didn't know it existed until, and then I know that Rich Luderman has done a lot of work with this crew as well. So it's not just
is
me.
He on the podcast too?
He is. He does have a podcast out there.
That.
He didn't even tell me.
Ooh.
I had to scroll down and find it.
And you found it yourself?
Yeah.
They didn't want you to be,
He's got an established relationship with them. He brings them in. These students sometimes come in and tour the station on the weekend. So I've got a chance to meet them prior to this. So it was a real pleasure to be involved.
That's awesome. I scanned the QR code. I have the podcast. I'm going to save it. So on my drive home, I guess I can listen to Rich's episode.
You can't listen to mine, but soon, very soon.
Very soon.
Mixing it up with Mixter. Go ahead and download that and subscribe to it and make their day.
Yes. And in the meantime, you can make our day and tune in later for Dave's story.
That's right, 5:30.
Thanks, Dave. Well, it's a new ad campaign hoping to find a living kidney donor. A Metro Detroit man has desperately been trying to find a match. And Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly shares his story.
What a way to get your attention.
And it has some pretty bold messaging.
A billboard on I-75 near 14 Mile in Oakland County. It's one of 8 in Metro Detroit put up with a dire mission.
I'm at a point where I need to find a kidney.
Michael Staller has been dealing with inadequate kidney function since he was a child. And during this journey, his dad, Bruce, who works for Lamar Advertising, has been by his side.
Bruce is one of my sales reps. Came into his one-on-one a little upset a few weeks ago, and I said, okay, what's going on? And he shared that his son was struggling. I said, what can we do?
That conversation led to this billboard marketing campaign to rally around an employee's son.
This one is free because it's our employee. But in the words of our CEO, we just want to treat others like we would like to be treated.
It's a message Michael's little girl, Bella, hopes resonates because she wants all who sees these billboards to help her father.
She knows when I'm not feeling well, so she'll up to me and kind of rub my back or give me a hug or a kiss.
And as Michael continues his search for a kidney, that gets people talking, and that raises awareness about organ donation.
There's 2,600 people waiting in the state of Michigan right now, and some of them will wait 3, 4, 5 years to get that deceased donor transplant. And so I think patients are more educated and informed and aware that they need to be their own advocate.
In the past, Michael did use social media in his search, but the advertising company says these billboards will reach further.
They're all about between 100,000 and 200,000 impressions apiece.
Now this dad just hopes the right eyes see the billboard and contact him or even help make a difference for someone else.
This brings a little bit more awareness to lifestyle choices to prevent it, and also the fact that we need more people to consider donor. I think that that's a win-win.
In Oakland County, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
Thank you, Ingrid. Well, Michigan voters unhappy with the state of education in our state could soon have a chance to do something about it. We'll have details on a new effort to beef up our schools next. That and much more ahead right here on Fox 2 Detroit Live. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4 as we take another live look out at downtown Detroit. Belle Isle in the background there. Hazy skies continuing, 83 degrees out there. Well, President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill has passed the U.S. House and is now facing an uncertain future in the Senate as Republicans and Democrats have voiced various objections. Now even Elon Musk is calling this bill a bad idea. Here's Fox's Doug Luzader with the latest.
Well, this is going to make it even more difficult to get that massive tax cut and spending bill through Congress, and it may drive a big wedge between President Trump and Elon Musk.
Well, I expect to continue to provide advice whenever the president would like advice.
I hope so. Just last week in the Oval Office, President Trump said he welcomed Elon Musk's continuing advice. Now, perhaps not so much. Posting on X, Musk just slammed Trump's Big Beautiful Bill. "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore," he wrote. "This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination."
I agree with Elon Musk.
Democrats in Congress were thrilled, happy to hammer the wedge between Musk and Trump over the big tax cut and spending bill making its way through Congress. In reality, Musk wants less government spending, and Democrats generally want more. But Musk's criticism resonates with fiscal conservatives who worry about piling on to the national debt.
They're planning on spending $5 trillion they don't have, and I'm just not for that.
And the White House says Musk's opposition won't stop the president.
Look, the president already knows where Elon Musk stood on this bill. It doesn't change the president's opinion. This is one big, beautiful bill, and he's sticking to it.
And from Musk, perhaps a warning to Republicans in the House who have already pushed through the bill. "Shame on those who voted for it," he wrote. "You know you did wrong. You know it." And while Musk has said he would spend less time in politics, he could still play a big role in next year's midterm elections. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Roop Ross joins us now. And Roop, some strong words coming from Elon Musk about this big, beautiful bill, especially considering how much he seemed to back the president initially and the department he once led.
Yeah, that's so true. And also a very damaging thing that he's saying, considering that he has 200 million followers on social media. When he says kill the bill, he's not just talking to a few people. He's talking to some major newsmakers and influencers and policymakers and companies. Kill the bill. So what does that mean? Well, he's insisting that this bill simply will cost too much. If you really think about his whole job, Jamie, his job was to basically make the government more efficient, right? That's what DOGE was all about, cutting costs. This bill, you can't argue it, would actually tack on to the national debt more than $4 trillion. And so, yes, it is doing a lot for the tax cuts. It's doing a lot for a lot of different industries out there. They talk about, kind of reworking the Medicaid rules to make sure that no one is just simply taking and they have to have the work requirements. All those things aside, there is still a debt issue here, increasing the debt $4.6 trillion. And this is a money guy. Elon Musk is a guy who looks at the bottom line. And yes, he's a Trump loyalist, but not a Trump loyalist like a Steve Bannon or a J.D. Vance. He's actually an outsider who came in as a consultant and believed heartily in what he was doing. But what he was doing was actually making things more efficient. He says his bill would do the opposite, even going so far as to call it an abomination.
And I mean, could this be part of the reason he stepped down from his position?
No, I think the reason he stepped down, Jamie, 130 days is all you get as a special government employee. Under Secretary Hillary Clinton back in the day when she was Secretary of State, she had a woman named Huma Abedin, who is a SGE, special government employee, 130 days. Now, it doesn't have to be consecutive, but 130 days and you're out. He can still consult in some form, but his time was up. But I do think that the bill's timing and his exiting makes it seem to many that that's perhaps why he left, but that there was an actual appointment deadline at which time he had to say sayonara.
Thanks for breaking that down, Rube. Today, we know steel and aluminum tariffs doubled. What can we see get more expensive, and how soon will we feel the effects of this?
Well, you're going to see a lot of things. Anything you buy, right? Appliances, cars, all those things could be a little more pricey. But it's interesting because there's a CEO of a company called Cleveland-Cliffs, and that's one of the biggest steel makers in America. Not necessarily a household name, but the stuff that is the household product in your house, probably made by Cleveland-Cliffs. The CEO says the average car will end up costing about $300 more. So he says if your car costs $48,000, $38,000, this 50% increase in steel tariffs will end up costing the typical car just about $300 more. He says that can easily be swallowed by the consumer over the course of a lease or a buying payment there. But others out there say this is just going to cost everybody way too much. But the reason President Trump is doing this is really kind of like the hallmark of his tariff deals, is to make steel in America more, right? I mean, he wants more stuff made in America. And he believes this will encourage companies to use more American steel. So it's interesting to see how this all rolls out.
Most definitely. Well, what can we expect on the Pulse tonight?
We have such a packed show for you today. We're talking about the Supreme Court. On your show, Jamie, I've heard you talk about the Supreme Court. The federal courts have a ruling, and now the Supreme Court is considering whether or not to overturn what the lower court said.
Yeah.
We actually have an attorney on to discuss how that process works, the guardrails, so to speak. And we also, as usual, are going to be talking about all the day's political news. Good show ahead.
Looking forward to it, as always, every weekday night at 11:30. Thanks, Roop.
See you then.
Well, in a move likely to be blocked by the U.S. today, the United Nations Security Council will vote on a resolution demanding an end to the war in Gaza. It comes following a series of recent deadly attacks on civilians trying to get food from aid distribution centers. Fox's Trey Yingst has more from Tel Aviv.
Members of Palestinians killed by Israeli bullets weep over the bodies of their loved ones. Israeli soldiers fired on dozens of people who were just over a quarter mile from an aid distribution site. Asked about the shooting, the Israeli military said, quote, "The IDF is aware of reports regarding casualties, and the details of the incident are being looked into." The military confirmed firing on these Palestinians and says that they had deviated from a designated route. A spokesman for Israel's prime minister confirmed the incident took place before claiming without evidence that the IDF did not fire at civilians near the aid distribution zones.
Israel is not preventing Gazans from accessing humanitarian aid, and the IDF did not fire at civilians in or near aid distribution zones.
All of the injured were of different ages. The majority were young men in civilian clothing and included children and women.
The latest incident comes as Israeli soldiers are expanding ground operations against Hamas. Over the weekend, 3 Israeli soldiers were killed by a roadside bomb that Hamas planted in northern Gaza. The Trump administration is calling for a diplomatic solution to end the ongoing war, stop the suffering of Palestinian civilians, and bring the remaining hostages held by Hamas home.
These are imperfect situations for catastrophic areas where the rest of the world has wanted this to be done. We have to try, and that's what they're doing.
So far, diplomatic efforts to reach a ceasefire have failed. Both Israel and Hamas have agreed to a deal, but they're looking at different agreements. In Tel Aviv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
An update in the fire attack in Boulder, Colorado from this past weekend. The suspects' family members have been taken into custody as the Trump administration moves to deport them. The Department of Homeland Security says they revoked the visas for Mohammed Solomon's wife and 5 kids. The FBI has said the family has been cooperative in this investigation. But Secretary of State Marco Rubio says under the Trump administration, terrorists and their family members will be deported. Solomon is an Egyptian national who came to the U.S. on a work visa, which expired in 2023. Authorities say he injured 12 people using makeshift incendiary devices during a march on Sunday while shouting "Free Palestine." The people injured were there calling for the release of Israeli hostages in Gaza. Governor Whitmer revealing she has spoken directly with President Donald Trump after he recently suggested he might pardon the men convicted in the plot to kidnap her. While she declined to comment on the details of her conversation with the president, she did say she wanted to make sure he has all the facts.
I will just confirm that I have connected with the president directly on this subject and made my thoughts known. And so beyond that, I'm not going to share more about our conversation, but hopefully he'll take some of those things into consideration when he makes a decision.
The ringleaders of the plot, Barry Croft Jr. and Adam Fox, were both found guilty and sentenced to at least 16 years in federal prison. Several other defendants have been convicted on lesser offenses. Former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder on a mission. He wants to boost test scores in schools. The businessman turned Republican politician and now private citizen says what did it for him was when Mississippi passed Michigan in education rates. Kids in this state ranking in the 40s among the 50 states. And Snyder says he wants to work with special interest groups and leaders from other states that have shown improvements in education to try to suggest them here in Michigan. He wants something to take to the voters.
Well, that could involve something to go on the ballot. It could involve more than one thing on the ballot. It could be legislative efforts.
So you do look at a ballot on 2026 or not?
Likely. But again, I don't want to speculate as to what that would entail at this point.
Well, some of Snyder's goals getting kids to read by grade 3. All right, time for another check of the forecast. Rich Luderman back with us again. Hey there, Rich.
Hey there, Jamie. It's another warm day for us, but there are some changes coming quickly because we have this cold front knocking on the door, so to speak, for southeast Michigan. A couple of batches of rain. The first is north and west of Toronto, and the other batch is south of Chicago. So we're kind of in the middle. Now, there are some spotty showers out there with this cold front, but the showers are going to become more numerous after 8 or even 9 o'clock tonight. So you may get your evening activities in, dodging a few raindrops, but as we get into the mid to late evening hours, the rain showers will become more widespread. You can see right now the action is close to Jackson. There are some showers close to Lansing. Even up there in St. Clair County, some showers. Could even be a rumble of thunder along the St. Clair River. But it's still pretty warm out there. We'll zoom in one more time and show you just a few light showers from Detroit to St. Clair Shores. Up there close to St. Clair and Marine City, a few showers in the area there. Right now downtown, it is not raining. It is quite warm and breezy. 84 degrees along the river. Now there's a sailboat coming out of the Bayview Yacht Club. There is the Bayview Yacht Club, but notice the sailboat just moving slowly at the bottom of the screen there.
USA.
Pretty exciting. I mean, this is live action right now. I could stare at that all day. 85 degrees at City Airport with that breeze from the west and southwest. It'll be turning more northerly later tonight. Look at the cooler numbers. Lansing is at 63, so compare that to Windsor at 88. That's a 25-degree swing from Windsor to Lansing. It's really not that, much real estate in between there. So through the evening hours, temperatures will be coming down as the wind directions shift as our cold front comes through. Now there, it shows up very well. 60 degrees in Bad Axe, 64 in Grand Rapids, still quite warm for Pittsburgh and Erie, Columbus, Ohio at 86. But over the next 4 to 6 hours, it's the cool front that's going to win this battle. And you'll see it right there on Fox Futurecast. It kind of sags to the south and east very slowly. So we'll keep the showers and storms in the forecast for tonight and for tomorrow morning. We're not expecting severe weather, but the main threat could be some localized heavy downpours. That's a possibility overnight tonight. And then Friday and Saturday are going to be dry days for us. You'll see that in the 7-day forecast. Showers and storms become more numerous. Later this evening, we're down to 62. Overnight tonight into Thursday morning, it is going to be wet at times with a daytime high tomorrow only near 70. That means we're going to be down about 15 degrees for Thursday. And then looking good Friday and Saturday, most of Sunday. Sunday evening into Monday, our next chance for some more additional wet weather, Jamie. But the heat was on yesterday and again today. The heat is not coming back until the end of next week.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we'll enjoy it while we can.
Thank you, Jamie,
Thanks,
very much.
Rich.
Okay.
Well, coming up, culinary arts classes for the youth. We'll tell you how they can get cooking this summer after the break. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4. The Detroit Grand Prix is now over, but for everyone left Detroit satisfied, we'll get to that in a bit. But first, we do want to take you to our interview with Mission Possible earlier today. Take a look. Empowering young boys and girls with essential cooking skills. This month, they can enjoy a hands-on culinary experience. Joining us now with more is Gianna Oliver with Mission Possible. Welcome to the show, Gianna.
Thank you.
So tell us, your organization is based out of Flint.
Yes.
Talk about the mission here and what you do in the community.
So our goal is building sustainable communities through financial literacy and education. And one way to do that is doing a cooking class. And we're bringing that here to Detroit.
Yes, you are. This month, you're hosting your Nourish Her plus Him cooking class. What can people expect?
People can expect to learn culinary skills, knife safety, kitchen skills. They can learn just basic cooking skills, building confidence, learning a nutritious way on normal things that we eat every day.
How long have you been doing this?
This is now our 3rd year.
Wow. And what inspired this particular way of getting the kids involved?
We've seen a need in Flint because Flint is a food desert. So what better way to help than to teach kids how to cook their own meals?
Yeah, and what reaction are you getting from them when they're learning these things and cooking their own meals?
It's so great. They are so excited. They're so eager to learn. And a lot of them have the skill. They just have never really used a real knife or something like that. So we are happy to be able to give them the tools they need and the education along with it.
Now, what made you want to bring this from Flint to the city of Detroit?
We've seen the same need in underserved communities where we want to give the opportunity of education and something fun.
Are there any other cities on your radar right now that you're hoping to reach in the future?
Not yet, but we do hope to reach every city in Michigan.
Now, who would you say this class is for?
This class right now is for anybody 6 to 16 years old, and they can sign up with our QR code. And yeah, please sign up. Bring the kids.
And again, tell us when and where it's happening.
It is happening here at the Detroit People Food Co-op. They can sign up with the QR code on the screen. Thank you to Henry Ford Health and Kendall Electric for sponsoring this event. It is 2 sessions. Sign up yesterday.
Sign up yesterday, so get to it. And what do you love about what you're doing with this, helping these kids learn how to cook and just being a part of it all?
I love that I get to inspire something new. You never know what small thing a kid might take from the class. They might want to be a farmer or they might want to be a chef.
Yeah.
Just based off what they learned in the class.
Of course. Love that. Here's that QR code for you for more information. Be sure to scan that to get your kids involved. And you can also check out their Facebook page as well. Incredible thing you're doing here for the kids. Happy it's coming here to Detroit. Yes. Can't wait for that. Thanks so much for joining us and all that you do, Gianna.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, the Detroit Grand Prix, it is over, but once again, not everyone left the city satisfied. IndyCar driver Faygo Award, who is currently 2nd in the series standings and finished the race in 7th place, voiced his frustration with the downtown track.
You guys know I don't sugarcoat things. I hate this place. It sucks. It's a horrible track. I really miss Belle Isle. You get to really appreciate what an IndyCar can do in Belle Isle. Here, you're just Mickey Mousing around the whole time.
A lot of the race car drivers we talked with really appreciated that Belle Isle track. But it wasn't a shot at the city, just the track. He wants the race back on the island, but it will remain downtown through 2028. There is an option after that for 3 additional years to keep it downtown through 2031. So we'll see what happens there. Detroit City Football Club will soon be scoring goals in their own backyard. They are packing up and moving from Hamtramck to Corktown. As Fox News' Lauren Edwards reports, the ultimate win is the development around it.
It's exciting. Soccer's grown so much since then, but at the same time, there's be a whole new generation of kids exposed to it in ways that, can't imagine at this point.
World Cup 2026 is 1 year away, and for the first time in 30 years, it'll be on American turf or pitch.
I think it's a big moment for the sport in this country. The first soccer game I ever went to was in '93 when they did the warm-up for the World Cup at the Silverdome.
Now Detroiters can catch homegrown professional soccer right here in their own backyard.
We've bought 17 acres of land focused on the hospital site, and we're building a forever home for soccer here in Metro Detroit.
Co-owner and founder Sean Mann says they'll soon be moving from Hamtramck to Corktown. The new home will be a modern soccer-specific stadium that fans will surely love, he says. And now they've brought some land around it.
we have some adjacent parcels which we'll use for parking, but also we're working on partnerships with developers to do some complementary development that supports the stadium project.
Like match day bars and hotspots that people can visit any time of year.
I think you'll see retail that you would have in a neighborhood, whether it's dry cleaning or a record shop or whatever.
Mann says he hopes the team scores many goals in the new stadium, and that'll lead to wins, but the ultimate goal is building up the community, which he says will be a win for everyone.
We have an opportunity to do a very neighborhood-oriented stadium that ties in all the positivity that's happening on Michigan Avenue in Corktown with all the positivity on Verner and Mexican Town, and do something that's, I think very unique, very locally oriented project.
So again, this building will be coming down soon, and Detroit City FC says they hope to open their new soccer-specific stadium by the beginning of their 2027 season. Reporting here in Detroit, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
Yo, pass me a bubble pop. Bet.
Super pop. Bubble pop. Super pop. Bubble pop.
Whoa. Welcome to the House of Faygo. For unbeatable flavors and more, visit houseoffaygo.com. Hey. Now that's a dynamic duo.
I love what they did with that Faygo song there. As you just saw, Sonic and Knuckles are back, this time in a Faygo commercial. Detroit Lions running back Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery seen enjoying blue and pink Faygo pop. It is not their first time together on screen. They also appeared as Sonic and Knuckles during the 2024 Thanksgiving game promo. Always good to see those two together. Well, now to an epic graduation and a commencement one graduate will never forget. This was at the Royal College of Art in London, and rumors say this was completely unplanned. Love all of this. What a way to walk across the stage. You go, girl. And the principal there. All right, that's all for us here on Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4. Thanks so much for joining us. Fox 2 News at 5 is next. Have a great day.
Scary situation in Detroit when 4 armed men confront a homeowner on his front porch. How quick action from police may have prevented something much worse.
No Job Corp! No peace! A protest after the Detroit Job Corp abruptly closes.